It feels like it's been weeks because it's been weeks. So yeah, so we're back to talk some more Stormlight, book 5. Sorry for the we missed a few weeks here, so we're going to be sort of going through quite a bit. Sort of, I guess. I don't know if that's even fair, but we're going to go through what at least what I think it's 7 chapters. There's 7 chapters to cover.
5, isn't it?
Well, no, because we got
7.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Did we not do 14, 15 either?
We didn't do 14, 15 either.
Oh,
No,
really?
we were going to, right? But that's the that's the inherent
Oh, you're
problem.
right. You're right.
There's not, unfortunately, there's not, even though there's a lot of chapters, I don't know that there's even really that much to talk. There's some stuff, but there's not a lot, which is unfortunate. We were just talking about before we came live here, but this right now, Wind and Truth seems to be moving along at a snail's pace, and I'm sort of
taking
wanting
its
it to pick up. Not sure when it's going to start running, but
I think
up,
it's
Ben?
more. I think it's more than that. I think that I don't know, man. Like it's too much. Like there's so many characters that I don't give a shit about. That are
Okay,
getting,
so
like-
I was just because I was going to mention it real quick.
Oh, yeah.
because part 2, the focus characters are always read out, right? So I'm listening to the audiobook. It's like Dalinar, Yasna, Navani, Fen, Yanagon,
Yeah.
Adolin, Shalon, Zeth, Sigil, Kaladin, Lift, Renarin, Relaine, Lopin. What are we doing?
Dude,
I
so
don't know.
Cut all of them out of there. Dalinar,
I skipped-
Kaladin, Zeth. That's all I need right there.
I skipped straight to the bottom and started the audiobook because I was doing
same thing,
house
same.
chores.
Same.
And yeah, they're like, I'm like, okay, let's get into it. We just had Odium. It's gonna be awesome. Day 2, let's go. And it goes, Day 2, Dalinar, Yasna, Navani. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then it just kept. I'm like, I don't even know who half of these people are.
Fen?
Who-
Why do I need a Fen point of view chapter? A
We
Yanagon why?
especially not naked Fen in a
Who-
friggin' hammock.
Who's Yanagan? Is that the
Yanagon
kid?
Is
As
Aesir's.
each emperor.
He's the kid.
Yeah, he's the kid. He's the
Okay.
easiest. Yeah, but it's like
I don't even remember. Oh no, there was like 2 paragraphs from his perspective. You're right.
I just don't understand why. Just yeah, they're in it, but why do we need
I just-
POVs from all of them? I don't understand.
I was like,
weird.
oh, we're bouncing between 4 characters. That's a lot. And then it just kept going. And I was just laughing out loud. I was like, what are we doing?
It's the 14 characters. 9. Wait, it's more than that. 9, 11, 12.
It's
Yeah,
14.
14 characters. 14 POV characters in the day 2 section. It's just like, why? I don't understand.
It's a weird choice.
I don't know. It's just weird.
It is strange. It is.
And now
It
we're
is strange.
7
Dumb.
chapters into day 2, and
Well,
we still have no Zeth flashbacks.
No Zeth flashbacks yet, and we're in day
You
2.
only get one Zeth chapter.
But yeah,
Yeah.
in 19,
And
the Zeth chapter, it's only 11 minutes. The
It's
Zeth
the
chapter.
shortest chapter.
It's 11 minutes. It's the
Yeah.
it's the shortest chapter of the bunch right now, and it's like it's the one I'm like, okay, here we go, and it's there's barely anything to it. I mean, I actually enjoyed the Zeth chapter, probably the best out of the group.
I did too, man.
Just
Because he
because
told Kaladin to
Zeth,
stop being sook.
Zeth has some emotion. Kaladin, look, I'll be honest too. Kaladin sort of sucked in the Zeth chapter, which is like, what are we doing? Like,
Yeah,
it was just
the best
weird.
The best thing about it was Zeth telling Kaladin that he was like being a sook, basically.
Yeah, it was just I don't know.
Which is true.
I'm getting.
I
don't
felt like I enjoyed the first 2 chapters. Like we get Dalinar and a little bit of Jasna. I know you guys were complaining about the Jasna wit stuff, but I
felt
feel
like I felt the Yasna. So yeah, we'll get into. We'll just get straight into it. I feel like half of the Yasna wit stuff was just nothing. Him going, man, I'm in a relationship with a god. It's hard.
I liked
Even sexy time is hard.
I liked
It's
the
like-
lore stuff that we got from Wit, but yeah, it's a little bit
I like
weird.
Yeah. I like the
Also,
war stuff.
I would like
It
to
doesn't
mention
get
these
too-
problems have. The last time we see Wit and Yasuda together, it's like, oh, so interesting, and that's like just days before this. It's like you haven't been with him for very long.
Can I
Yeah,
actually make
And it
another?
changed.
I just want to say one more. Have we gotten way more description on Spren for some reason in this book? Every Spren
Yeah, we
that
have.
shows up, we get some weird. I mean, that's a little nitpick, but it's just like it's weird because it's sort of out of nowhere. All of a sudden, creation Spren, which is it's like, okay, just I don't.
Yeah, he's
everything's gonna get a description. It's sort of weird.
She's
Everything's
mentioned
a
was it embarrassment or shame Spren
James Spring.
when she's looking at the nude picture.
Yeah.
She's mentioned how they like. He's described how they look. Oh, it's a little flower petal like 4 times. I'm like,
Is
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's supposed to be because the sibling has been reactivated, and that attracts. That's
Is that-
attracting all these sprints. So I think that's what that's supposed to be.
Is that
about,
what it's
right?
supposed to be? So I mean, it's not like I
that
said,
is
it's
what's
not the biggest deal. It's just like I mean, it's just I found it weird that we're taking
It is
time to
weird.
describe every Spren. What
It
it
Yeah.
is weird.
It's like I'm fine with like, oh hey, there's a different type of Spren. Cool. I don't need whatever. Like I said,
I'm saying
it's just odd.
14 and 15 I mostly liked because most of it was Dalinar, and there were a lot of other viewpoints, but it was short.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like 16, 17, and 18, I was pretty much checked out. It was mostly just Shallan setting up, trying to find these ghost bloods. I don't really care about. I feel like we've already
Also-
did this a couple times in several books.
Well,
and
and then like
I
don't
don't
know.
care about Gaz. We're like,
I
she
don't
has.
care
We
about
talked
Gaz.
about Gaz's feelings for like 10
And they instantly
a couple
make it-
pages.
Gaz hasn't changed at all. Gaz is still a piece of shit. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I
Gaz
didn't
goes,
care.
"Oh, we can have the Windrunners do something for once." It's like, excuse me, pal. What the fuck are you talking about? The Windrunners
ones
are the
that-
only
the
reason you
ones
guys
that-
are alive. What do you mean?
Yeah, he was the worst person ever, and yet the Windrunners still, in book 1, still decided to save Dalinar, inadvertently saving Gaz's life as well, and he's just the worst. Yeah.
I need to actually mention this isn't completely a Wind and Truth problem, but the fact that Gaz just became a light weaver between books and everything
Well-
is so fucking weird.
The weirdest part, the I'm okay with Shallan having a crew, right?
Yeah.
She's got her light weavers, but
What
the
is
thing
com-
is, all of the people on her crew are like thugs.
Idiots.
They're thugs and rapists and deserters.
These are
and,
the
and
spies.
she has them drawing sketches, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's
Well, how can I-
like, why are they so good at? Why is Gaz so good at art now? Like that just doesn't. That doesn't make sense to me.
Why is everyone she recruited back in Oathbringer suddenly a light weaver?
They
It
were
doesn't
talking
make
about
sense.
drawing the female form, and I was just like, that's not who these people are.
Why are
They are,
cultivation
yeah.
Spren idiots?
Oh,
Or creation Spren?
Alex
not
is here.
cultivation. Hey, what's up, man? I didn't think I thought you'd be off taking care of your lady. She okay?
Yeah, she seems to be all right.
Okay, good.
The lady has decided to make sure we have the Lord be himself.
I'm moving you down, Shy, because you have no pictures. Just so you know, that's all.
How dare you?
Gotcha.
It's
I
also,
have the best picture here. I
didn't say it was a bad picture. I just say you don't have a camera.
I'll say it's a
Um,
bad picture. It sucks. Your picture
I mean,
Oh.
it is also order of importance, but also you don't have a picture. So
So I wanted to say something real quick too, before we could go back to that. Has anybody else found? Because now, and correct me if I'm wrong, because like I did sort of cram these because I wanted to get back to a certain other book,
Yeah.
which is
Well,
makes me really sad that's how I'm treating this right now. But
no, I'm starting Dungeon Crawler Carl this week, so we can
Boom.
book club it.
hell yeah, fuck yeah.
I'm the only one who hasn't read apparently.
Has anybody?
Where's this?
There were some weird words showing up.
There's weird shit everywhere. There's weird
I-
shit
I-
everywhere.
I'm trying
Everything
to
about-
find the word. There was a weird word. It was like Wit said something, and it was like what the is it? Because it's Wit. He's using these long it's like I'm having to look up another word again because it's Wit talking. Like,
I
does
think
anybody
he's
remember that? I know it was a while
Yeah.
ago. It was I just forget which word it was. It was the weirdest thing.
There's been a few, and it's
Um,
I don't know whether it's like he's like taking the criticism about his prose to heart, and he's trying to add special but it's fucking stupid. Like some of these words are retarded. They really are.
Well, it's so.
If that is the case, Brandon, trust me, from the bottom of my heart, using 9-syllable words is not going to make your prose better. Exactly the opposite.
Look,
Yeah,
I know.
I
but
don't
we've
care that
also-
Brandon. I don't care that he doesn't have the best prose. That's
I
not
don't
why
care
I read
either.
Brandon Sanderson.
no,
I,
no.
Exactly.
I
no.
read
doesn't
Brandon
either.
Sanderson because he's just a solid like Pulp
Yes.
Fiction,
100%.
awesome, fun fantasy guy.
Yes.
Like I don't need it to be
Agreed.
poetic. I want him to have a magic system and sandbox it and have and I want to play with dolls. I want to have I want
100%
to smash my dolls against each other. Have them fight.
100%. Yeah, high five.
Yeah.
100% agree. I don't care about the
Your
pros. One
smashing of
fucking bit.
hands broke my connection.
I don't either.
I wish I could find.
I
the
care
words, but-
somewhat. I just don't. I don't put too much stock on it.
Yeah.
But
I've
yeah,
I have
chapters
never
been better
I've
prose-wise
never
than the
criticized him
previous.
for his prose. Like
I
I
know,
could care
I-
less.
Neither have I until these release chapters. It was the first time I've ever gotten like taken aback by the prose.
Like so 15, right? Dalinar this is the Dalinar section of 15.
Mhm.
14
Okay.
or 15.
And then we go into the Yasna section where she's bitching about her wonderful feather bed.
You mean
Um,
He's too soft.
And also this, some of the thoughts that Yasuna has, like where she's like self-mooting about how people have reacted to her, do not
Well,
feel
and then
like
she starts
Yasuna at
bitching
all.
because
Nah, they don't
because-
feel like her. They're not her at all.
No,
I
it
wrote that
doesn't
down
feel
too,
like her
ADS.
at all. She would not give a fuck. She doesn't
She would
care.
not only not give a fuck. She would not
She
only not
doesn't
give a fuck.
care.
She would
Well,
not.
the
whisper
best
at a
line, the
sleeping
best line,
boyfriend.
the best
Yeah.
line was when she was like, "Well, I don't understand it. When Dalinar does this kind of stuff, everyone just accepts it, and when I do it, no one listens." And we're like, "Yeah,
It's just her like bitching. Like it's like what?
She
Like,
would
nah,
one,
it's
she
not-
would not give a shit. She would have.
No.
It
she would-
seriously feels like Sanderson has a new idea for the characters and is trying
Well-
to just change them retroactively
Oh, and
in
then,
his
okay,
head.
And I'll be honest here. This part really irritated me. All of a sudden, now we have the mystery box. Yasna was treated badly for some bullshit, and she's the only one that remembers. It's like, where is this coming from?
Because they've
But
all got to
that's
be broke.
That's been
They've all got to be
that's been a
broken
thing
or whatever.
throughout
It-
about a
it-
potential like
it's because
rape
she's
or
been in
whatever.
there. It hasn't been like as bad as she's saying, but she for the whole series she has been an insufferable atheist, and that's gotten her pushback from everyone.
Well, but what I'm saying is that she curled up, listening to the quiet sounds of the water moving through the pipes, according to the air, trembling there. She at last realized why she hated the mattress. It reminded her of the soft restraints they'd given her when she was
Oh,
young.
yeah. No, I don't
and
know what the
those
heck that's
who
talking
loved
about.
her
I
had
have-
locked her away for a few terrible months.
Is
that
it trying to say
basically
that?
everyone else had forgotten about?
Is it trying to say like she was autistic and so they just like locked
No.
her in a padded room for
don't know.
something? I don't know.
It's been no. This is the thing I've heard about. There's been like hints and things about her possibly having been raped.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
But soft restraints?
Her-
What-
why would they restrain her and lock her away for being raped? That makes no sense.
This is
I
very-
don't
yeah,
know.
Like,
that doesn't track.
The way I decipher this is she said she's an atheist. They go, "You're crazy. We're gonna lock you in an insane asylum because we know what's best for you." That's
Yeah,
that's how I-
she's ostracized socially because she's abrasive.
I don't think that's where it's going,
I don't
but
know.
I also don't know what they're
It's
going to
just-
reveal.
I just feel like it's a weird snippet. We have this self-reflection of Yasna, and all she's doing is whining.
When did,
No,
when
she's
did
also
she get her?
whispering.
Go,
She's
go
also
ahead.
whispering at her sleeping boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yasna
when-
would just not do that. She would wake him up and give him a fucking lecture.
When did
No,
she?
wait.
get her friend?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can you guys?
Art-
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Will. I it's a little echoey, but go ahead.
Sorry, dumb question. When did she get her sprint?
She was like first. She was
Before
like
It was one of the
way
first
before
ones, yeah.
everybody.
It's still a little. No, well, we know it's after the party.
I think
So
it was
technically,
right
Gavilar
after Gavilar. I think is
Yeah,
what.
okay, so,
It was after
so it
Gavilar.
wasn't a situation where she had this friend as a kid and she was being fucking weird, so they were like, this bitch is clearly nuts.
Oh, I don't.
No,
I mean,
she was-
I don't think so, but I don't
He's-
know.
I saw
We
her-
know
'cause
for the
he's
fact that she meets Ink at the party.
Okay.
Well, she
That's right.
identifies what. Yeah, correct. She like communicates with Ink or whatever. So
She impresses
Ink
him.
may have been manifesting before that.
So I'm trying to find this weird word that just popped out like in the middle. It's like, what the fuck? Sorry.
There's heaps of them, don't worry about it.
It was just like the weirdest word in the middle of the Asta chapter. I'm like, what the hell is that word? I don't even know.
I can't keep
my
track
wife
of.
is suggesting that it might be the word irritation spread.
No, it wasn't irritation. It
Wait,
definitely
yes,
wasn't
she
irritation.
did it. She swam in stuffing. Irritation spread like pink motes almost invisible in the night, bobbing around her as she listened to Wit breathing.
Yeah. I
No,
fucking
no,
hate
it
that
definitely
shit.
wasn't that. It's yeah, we've already said that's I hate that, but that's not. It's a weird word that just like you're like Wit says something and he's like, aren't you kunga frunga logo goo goo? It's like what?
Yeah.
What the hell word is that?
I just can't
But-
keep track of everyone's names. Like I don't in chapter in 18, like Shab, one of Shalon's.
Who is that?
lackeys. I have no.
I don't know.
I've never heard this guy before.
Okay, wait. Let's save that for when we reach it, because then I'll have
Yeah.
shit to say.
Okay.
And also, this was the chapter where what fucking Wit almost blew up the room with all his investiture. What
Hey,
the
that
hell
was cool.
about?
That was the only cool thing about this. Like we
Yeah,
using every
Is that
Cosmere
because he was
power
getting mad?
available.
Is that what happened?
he's
No.
trying to test shit. I don't know why it shakes the room, but actually, no, we know. I think it's clear it's him using his Allomancer for some reason.
He's using.
Well, he's using
not just
everything.
He's using everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's using everything. He's
measuring how much memory he has stored, so and then doing the math to figure out if it's accurate, and it's not.
It was a weird choice that he's using breath for memory. I felt
The story
but-
in breath. Yeah.
that
but-
was something from the last book as well, and it's something that which
It's
that's not an issue.
Well, did
it's
he,
like a compounding thing. Like he's probably breath and a copper mind or something.
he's basically, I think, using Brett as a copper mind.
well, but
Yes.
but wasn't the 3 minute he lost his bracer or whatever, right?
He didn't lose a brace or anything physical. I think he uses Brett as a copper mind.
Okay,
Like,
because
he
I thought
uses-
Taravangian stole something from him to like steal his memory.
No,
I don't
he like
remember
deleted some Bretts of his, which contained memory.
Okay. That's
No,
what
I think you might be conflating it with one of the secret projects. I think he was missing one of his copper minds, and
Okay.
he did. He had that curse that he couldn't talk about.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I wish I could find this word, but
I remember something about
Probably
him,
the word,
like
man.
one of his copper minds getting stolen in the future or something like that.
Okay. Okay, so let's see here. So you have the first half of this with Yasna is her just not being acting like Yasna. Then Wit discovers he's missing time, which was the best part of the chapter.
Are
Yeah.
we complaining that Yasna isn't being? She's being less bitchy. Is that our complaint?
She's just just
No, she just
being
doesn't-
weak
she's
and
not-
bitchy.
I don't actually. I like Yasuna normally. This
I
doesn't
don't
feel-
mind her
Me too.
normally either, but she's
It's not
being
her.
she's being weak. She's being
It's-
weak.
Yeah.
and emotional, and she's
Bit-
compromising herself, which is not something she does.
Yes.
It's not.
yes.
It doesn't. It doesn't
Whiny
feel like Yasna at
Yasna
all.
isn't better than bitchy Yasna.
Yeah, whiny bitch. Yeah, exactly. Whiny Yasna is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
better than bitchy Yasna.
As I as I
At least
used to
bitchy's got a
comment,
spine.
as I
Go ahead.
said often when watching the first season of Wheel of Prime, I want Cunt Egwene back. Get rid of this bitch.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So okay.
Look,
So
Look,
let's see
I'm
here.
all for a strong female character. I practically married Nynaeve. Okay.
All right. So can I
You're crazy.
can I ask
You're
another
insane.
thing too? Can't Dalinar just make perpendicularities wherever he wants?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
you can.
can.
So
Yeah,
why
but,
is losing cultivations perpendicularly a big deal?
Possibly by loss. I guess they mean loss access, and the enemy can use it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
that's
now it's like
exactly.
the
If
enemy
that's what,
is
okay.
able to use
Okay. It's not a matter of getting to Shadesmar. It's a matter that they have a portal there. Okay. Done.
And
Yeah.
he has access to it.
Okay. That tracks at least. Okay.
Wait,
Um.
who's Hendit? Is that the guard?
I don't. Yes, sure. I don't
Yeah,
know.
okay, it's from the guard. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just like I don't care. Just say
Dude,
the guard.
Alan, I'm right there with you. After I jumped into my car, turned this on, and heard this: Dalinar, Yasna, Navani, Fen, Yanagan, Adolin, Shallan, Zeth.
Oh,
It's like who are all these? It's like what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. I don't like. Come on, man. I don't know.
Well, it's just so different, right? Like we've had like in this series in particular, like we started off with like Way of Kings with Kaladin's book, really, right? And we
Yeah.
added the other characters around the edge, and we started to build the story, and it was like a slow burn, but it was really well done. It was telling a consistent narrative from a character that we fell in love with point of view, mostly. Book 2, we moved on to Shallan, and we still added more depth to Kaladin, and we gave a bit more shade to Dalinar, whatever, but it was like contained. And Oathbringer is where that started to go a little bit sideways, but it was still really like Dalinar-centric.
I think-
book.
I think Oathbringer was the one that balanced it most well. It was able to focus on Dalinar, but every character had enough in there. You didn't feel like any character was slighted.
Yeah. At Rhythm of War, you've got like Navani's the main character of that book, really.
Along with Cal. I think Cal
along
and
with-
Navani are the ones to be considered the mains.
I just
Along
think
with Cal,
like
but we-
reading the Wheel of Time, like there were a lot of characters whose names I forgot, right? But then they came back later and started doing important things, and I was like, I don't remember who this is, but
they weren't presented as important.
Right,
That's the
yeah,
difference.
right,
These,
but-
these people being presented as important, and we're like, I don't give a fuck. I want to know what's going to happen with
No,
Kaladin's
like
arc.
in this
I want to be in
chapter,
Kaladin's head.
she literally says like the door guard comes in and she says, "Oh, your name is Hendit, and I'm gonna talk to Hendit." Like, just say she's talked to the guard. Like, I don't care who.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's like
But like, I'm forgetting way
it's
more names
different.
in this, and it's much more recent in my mind than Wheel of Time than I ever forgot in Wheel of Time.
Well, I just feel
It's
like
just
they're being
totally
thrown
different.
around willy nilly. It's just like
It is.
we were
Yeah.
talking about the Light Weavers. Like, who's that? I don't know. Like, I don't know any of the Light Weavers except for Gaz, who I wish would get stabbed in the eye and lose it again.
So
And the other one, the other asshole guy, guy. I forget his name.
Sanderson seems to want to be trying to like point out importance outside of the main characters, but doesn't even know how to do that based on him just like saying, "Oh yeah, there's a Storm Ward with the fourth out." It's like you've never mentioned this character.
Yeah, but
It's like I get what you're trying to do, but it really feels forced.
Like,
You just
you
simply
guys-
have another fourth out.
So
you guys don't remember Shab? Is that what you're saying?
yes, who's
You don't know,
Shaw?
you don't know who that is? Wow.
Were you
I'm
trying
gonna
to say something,
Yeah, I'm gonna pose a question to you guys. If we found out in chapter 21 that every single one of Shallan's Lightweavers died painfully,
I'd be completely good with that.
I was saying, would we have any negative emotions about this at all, or would we in fact
No.
actually kind of
No.
rather be sort of excited?
Oh, I'd be so glad.
I would
that
just
Gaz
wonder
was dead.
why.
I wouldn't give a fuck. I think it would be fantastic. It would be a net positive for the book.
Yeah, because I don't like any of them, and Gaz,
And that's also,
Gaz just completely not evolving at all, and just completely just being like, Windrunners are useless. We can use them as. It's like, excuse, what? Like, come on, dude. What are you talking about?
So I'm going to, Eldan, I think I'm going to break our rule here.
Okay.
If Carl was put in Kaladin's shoes and
Yeah.
came across Gaz,
Yeah.
what would Carl do?
Punch his head off.
Right? Splatter him across the wall.
Yeah, I know, but
On him
it
and-
Oh,
It's not- it's-
what was the other one? I'm skipping ahead, but who was the in Dalinar's chapter? They kept talking about some guy called Starscream.
yeah, who's Star?
I have no idea who that was.
Like, who is
that's
named
a
Starlight?
Transformer.
Transformer.
It's like, what? Starborn or something. It's like
Stardial.
Starbok. It's like, what? What are we on Battlestar Galactica? What happened?
He had to make the maps, and I was
Oh,
like,
Stargo.
I remember
Stargo,
someone
yeah.
making maps in Oathbringer. I
That
don't
was
remember his
Shallan.
name being Starscream.
No, that was Shallan.
Yeah, Shallan. It was Shallan was doing the maps,
Shallan.
right?
It was
So
Shallan,
Shallan's
yeah.
taught-
Who the heck is this guy?
He's
Yeah, we got a new guy.
apparently he's one of her light weavers that we didn't
He's a new
never
guy.
met until now because Starscream has been practicing making maps, so fucking Shallan doesn't have to do it. It's like
we keep saying Starscream, but
I'm
that would be a better name than Star
Wouldn't it be
Guy.
great if Starscream showed up? It's like Megatron. It's like yes.
Dude, Starscream
Right.
would completely blow the shit out of Odium. Like,
But
11 of 10.
so it's like so we get Navani, and then like so is this the
Which,
whole
by the way, do we
nobody's
wanna-
thing? It's
wait.
like is this
Do we
the
want-
theme of this chapter?
Do we want? Yes, it is. Also, do we want to mention the thing we learned of Navani's bond?
That
can't
she's a
sleep.
prisoner in Yurathiru?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
and that the
awesome.
sibling is a weird stalker. They them
Right.
motherfucker.
Yeah, they're like, do you want to listen to them having sex? It's like, what?
Fucking weirdo. It's so weird. There's so much weird shit.
Dude, seriously, did Sando get on like TRT,
I hope.
and that's why
Bro,
this is so fucking.
Yeah, I
horny?
know
Like,
the AI
I
is
think
taking
he's-
like
nah,
like the
I think he's been
freaking
smoking that.
the sibling is the AI from Carl. That's what it is.
Oh my god! Carl has an erection! It was very inappropriate! Manga was appalled!
Yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah.
I knew she loved it. She loves it, Alex. She loves it.
So who is so now we get Fen.
I haven't
husband.
read Carl yet. Okay,
So
stop quoting the books.
So why do we have?
You
Yeah,
can't not.
let's stay off Carl. We're gonna get to
Oh.
Carl. Don't worry about it. Carl is a future stream. I'm looking forward to it too. But
Queen
so-
Fen was not asleep. Skip.
yeah, it's,
Why do
it's
we need
like-
the first two paragraphs there?
I
Like,
don't-
what
I don't
information
even-
does that tell us?
and then we're talking about
Nothing.
Kalmalka. I don't know who that is. I don't care.
Husband.
All
Knuckles
I
is
find
fuck.
out is that Queen Fen has done nothing in a year, and there's no fucking army in Thalena, and she's completely dependent on Dalinar. It's like, what?
Is this where she's like naked
been
in
a
the hammock
year,
as
right?
well?
Yes, this is her naked in the hammock, and her
Yeah.
fucking 70-year-old husband is trying to have sex with her, and they get interrupted like 4 times.
Dude,
That's
there
what
were
I mean.
all of these
You know
chapters.
what?
Weird shit.
All of these chapters have been horny though. Like
You wanna
it's
know
so
what's
weird.
Crazy. I actually
like
did
that.
skip this. Now that I heard Queen Fen and I skipped it. I don't remember any of it, to be honest.
Yeah. You didn't.
I only remember the future.
Not much happens besides them telling her that her fleet's been destroyed by the
by the
Skybreakers.
Skybreakers.
So-
That's
so
the only
what
thing
you
you need
know-
to know. The
wow.
Skybreakers enter.
So the mighty
like-
Thalen fleet is gone again. Wow, it's sure is mighty.
Like, if this was something you could just easily do with the Skybreakers, why the fuck didn't the previous one just do it ever?
Why didn't the
It seems like
Skybreakers just
a
go
win.
take Thalen City right now?
Why didn't we get why didn't we get this this like the Skybreakers entering the chat from Nail's perspective,
Dude,
right?
Yes.
Aldan,
Why?
that was actually my biggest question about this.
Yeah.
Why are you choosing to provide the scene of the messenger coming in and telling the old naked lady that the battle is destroyed rather than the fucking
Show us
battle
the
where it's
battle.
destroyed?
Yeah.
Like, what happened, dude? It's not like this is gonna be a 1,200 fucking page book. It's not like there's a time issue here. Like, we've blown well past the reasonability of length here.
Well,
I would like
Yeah.
it if they actually like showed the Skybreakers doing what one of her Navy generals mentioned. Like, I think it's actually her husband. I think that mentioned it. Them just bringing a bunch of rocks and dropping them on the ships.
Well, my question is why did they stop? If
Yeah, that is
if
interesting.
Thalen City is so fucked, why did they stop?
You would just take it. You would take
Just,
it right in.
just
you know?
go. If they were able to sink the whole fleet by dropping rocks from the atmosphere, they didn't lose a single Skybreaker. Why would you stop? Just take
It
the
shouldn't
fleet.
have been that easy. You can't just make it that. It's just.
That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing, Shai, because it's so they made it so easy. There's no reason for the Skybreakers to not just proceed.
Well, I think
Yeah.
that did they route the Windrunners that were there? So there was some defense.
They did some. They mentioned some
ostensibly.
trick to get the Windrunners like away from them, but it's still really dumb
It is really
because
dumb.
it's just
But I
like
wanna
you
know
just
how that-
managed to get the Navy demolished, and it just happens.
It's a
So-
pattern so far. It's part of the pattern. Like we're being told events from a perspective of drama rather than a perspective of action, as Alex said, which is exactly correct, and it's starting to concern me. I'm not going to lie.
Well, and that's my biggest takeaway from this, dude. And that it sounds bad, but you have been defending in a glowing ray of sunshine.
Yeah,
And
now you have fallen.
And these, well, but
No.
look, there's something wrong.
I know,
These
but I'll be
chapters are
honest
not.
about
They have not been good. It's not. It's sad.
I know.
It's
I
not
like.
good.
I don't like being this negative. I don't like being this negative.
I fucking hate it.
I was
None of
defending.
us
I was
want-
defending the book for the entirety of day one. I liked it, but there is something off here.
None of us wanted this book to be bad. This is the finale of the first part.
Dude,
this
no,
is
it
the
hurt.
thing
This
we waited for.
it's hurting me that we're complaining. I don't want to be. Like I really am. Look, there's so much. There's so much that should be going on that I should be like, yes, but it's just not happening. Shadowheart, I understand my level of lameness, but can I beg an overview of what is going on right now? So we're going, since it's been a few weeks. We're trying to get through
7 chapters.
7 chapters of Wind and Truth that have released. And I think I'll speak for the group. We're all very disappointed with how these 7 went.
Or do you mean like an overview of what's going on in the book?
Yeah, or that, right?
Because not a lot.
Upset, and I think Aldan is 100% right. Concerned. This is very concerning. This is supposed to be the end of this era.
Yeah, there's patterns that are emerging. That's the thing. Like, and I know there's patterns that are starting to be like, I don't see how it.
So
it changes.
So Shadowheart, basically, what they're just prepared. We're 20 pages in. Where Kaladin and Zeth waited for permission to leave the city, and the rest of them, they're waiting to get attacked by Odium. That's about it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, did I miss anything, or is that's about it?
The lack of action has been distinct. And I mean,
and Adolin and Shallan failed to recruit very many Windrunners in Shadesmar, and they waited in Shadesmar, and
after all of this, I actually do have a bit more issue with that. Why did we go through all that shit in Rhythm of War, and then only 8 fucking show up?
I know.
Especially when they seem to show that they imply there's a lot of Windrunners friend that kind of want to join, the most of the new generation. Then they just have fucking 8. It's like, okay, it's one of those. It's another one of the several subversions from just like the previous book, which implies something, and then they show something else. It's like, why? Why did you make the change?
Oh, fuck me. Chapter 15. They spend fucking like 10 minutes in the shower fucking.
Yep. No, Aldan is correct, though. At the current rate this book is going, we're going to find out that Dalinar beat Odium in a conversation between Shallan and Navani. Like,
oh, it's so, well, and I repeat, like all of especially myself, Alan, Aldan, and Shy. I know, I'm putting you on a pedal or off on your own because you've been more negative than us. But we like this is not the state I want to be in right now. I hate this shit. I hate talking like this about this book.
Right.
It should have been a warning sign when I started to go that, because like if it's just one, sure, but now we're showing a pattern. That it was like eventually a limit was going to be reached, and you all just reached a limit.
It's very scary to me right now that this is where we're at, and we're 20 pages in. We still haven't got a single Zeth flashback, which we've been promised since frickin' book 3.
Yeah. So I've done the math. The book.
No, hold off, Shadowheart.
The book is being released. I mean, Dragonsteel Nexus, which I'm going to, starts December 5th. Okay, and if we get a chapter that week, which would be on the 3rd of December, that's 2 chapters a week. That's 15 more chapters.
Hey, Alan,
if there's 3 a week or 1 a week, average it out to 15. We're currently at 20. We're over a sixth of the way through the book, because he said that the chapter releases are going to be 1/3.
Yep. Alan, who is Hackendar?
I don't know. What chapter are you on?
He's the shower mechanic, apparently. Oh, he's the room steward because
There was literally a chapter where like Shallan says like, "Oh, this guy's not important, but I'm glad I remembered his name, but I can't like show that I care."
Well, it's like
I'd hold off
in the
shot.
shower beating his meat. Shallan shows up and goes, "Oh, let's make it ultra hot, and I'll help you." And then
they start banging.
And
Dude,
that's
that's the
it.
worst.
And that's it. And then the next chapter is Navani standing next to the window with the sibling going, "Do you want to hear your son and your stepson and your stepdaughter get it on in one of these
Dude, I
hours?"
feel
What?
for Adolin though, because like showering together is supposed to be really sexy. My wife turns the water up so hot, I cannot shower with her.
Hey guys,
It is scalding.
No, this chapter is all them in the shower talking about soap and fucking.
Majority of the chapter, and then it gets to Dalinar.
Hackendorf got them 6 different soaps though, guys.
Which chapter is this? 15?
This is
Dude,
15.
this reads like bad Harry Potter fanfic. It really does.
In the last
It's
4
it's
weeks,
definitely the amount. It's
5 weeks
a lot
even.
of them
We've had Sly. Syl talking about her vagina. We've had what was the other super horny moment before? I can't remember.
God.
We've had Shallan and Adolin just banging in the shower. We've had Jasna and Wit banging. We've had some random woman that I don't care about banging her husband in a hammock. It's been so horny.
It's weird.
It's so weird. It's like he's smoking meth, man.
It's so weird. Yeah, so they shower. I don't even care. I don't care. They're talking about the Ghostblood nest. I don't care. At this point, I am Team Kelsier. Kelsier,
I'm Team
purge the
Kelsier.
planet. Go.
I'm Team Kelsier as well.
I meant begin the purge, Kelsier. Try and just stay away from Shinovar. Maybe when Cal gets back, he'll be like, "Wow, this guy knows how to take care of business."
Shallan going head to head with Kelsey's crew, that being a decision of hers, is interesting. I don't think it's going to work out very well for her.
I don't think it's necessary.
I don't think it is either.
Do we think that Sanderson's editor has just stopped doing his job?
But that implies that he's always put this weird shit in, and it's
Yes,
been cut.
no, I don't know
That's
who's writing
even
right
worse.
now. I don't know who's writing this book. That's
Whether
my
or not it
concern.
implies that, why did nobody tell him no?
This-
Why has no one kept him on track?
I
Because
don't know.
Sanderson
I
does
reckon
have
it's-
some weird ideas about writing, as has needed like people to tell him to like no, make a point. White Sands is one. He wanted to not actually have like any tension in it. He was told by the editor, no, get a point to it, get a stake. So it's like he does occasionally have weird ideas and needs to be told otherwise. And I feel
I
like
don't know, man.
this is what happens when people stop telling him to do that.
It could
Oh,
be that.
by the way,
it's getting really deep.
Shallan was real happy that all the cultivation or the creation spread were watching them screw because she liked having an audience.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that felt weird.
Editor
Like,
aside, though, he
yeah.
goes through. He has like reading groups. He has like an alpha and a beta group
Yeah,
that he puts these through, and no one said like, "Dude, why is it so horny?"
I think that what's happening is that those people are giving him suggestions, and
I
he's
think
putting
I
them
think
in.
they're the ones pushing it. Yeah.
I think.
Well, I mean,
what I think is happening.
I genuinely think what it is the groups that he's getting that are part of his reading groups are changing.
Yeah.
I think
I
a
think
decade
so.
ago, the groups he was getting were real good or real focused on kind of the,
Shad was part of it, for example, right?
the narrative. Whereas I think the groups that he's
Shad's
getting
been part
now-
of Freedom of War and Sense.
Shad consults on the sword fighting stuff. That's it.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think
Now,
the general reading groups that he's pulling from BYU, I mean, good grief, man. I wouldn't trust a fucking reading group and a liberal arts group from a college to fucking mow my lawn.
Dude,
Give
I
feedback.
graduated from BYU, and I agree. Like it's gone so liberal. It's gross.
Do we have any idea? Like, okay, and so we're talking about a lot of tactics. Well, not a lot, but we're starting to like. I have no idea the numbers of the good guys.
Mhm.
I have,
I have
zero
no
I
idea.
idea.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how many windrunners there are. I have no idea how we have one. So like I'm at the point where I don't understand how they win. There's 1,000 fused marching, flying to your theater.
Yeah, that
we're getting
yeah,
ahead
that
of
seems like
ourselves.
too.
Well,
Yeah.
and the only people on the good team that are useful are the Windrunners.
And you
They
send
don't have
out
like
your best
anyone else.
fighter you sent on a fucking fool's errand. It's like there's 1,000 fused, and that's not all of them. Like how many windrunners are there? Like not that. I don't think there's even that many. So like I don't
Yeah.
have any idea of the numbers we're dealing with on the good guys side. So like I don't. Is 1,000 fused? Can they even defend against that? I don't know.
I don't know either. I think that we had like a couple of like a few.
I mean, we
hundred,
have
maybe.
no. So we know there's no skybreakers. There's one.
Yeah.
We know there's one skybreaker. There's one else caller. There's a few. Apparently, there's a few lightweavers who are all dumb and
Maybe
doing reconnaissance.
maybe this.
Apparently, there's a bunch of edge dancers. I guess, and we know of 2 truth watchers who have corrupted Sprend. Are there any more than that? And we have what's the other? What's
2
Venli?
Bond Smiths.
2
We got
Bond Smiths
signed-
and Venli, the Will
Stuff,
Shaper
yeah.
is off with her people, and we don't have another Will Shaper. We have one, yeah. So, like, what are our numbers? I don't
Yeah, it's not a-
know.
Well,
When
it was 200, and then Adolin and Shallan came back, and now
So they
it's
got 208?
208.
We're done. It's over. We're over. Like,
Ball
like,
game.
Yeah, that's
We
it. They can't
lost.
defend against this.
it's over. Like, I don't
Yeah, I
even
agree.
understand. Like,
They've got 3 Thunderclasts and 1,000 fuse coming through Shades.
who is Kellen?
Which I'll say this: I'm hoping they give a very good reason on why he sent like arguably the most powerful force to the Shattered Plane specifically, because weird shit's been going on in that specific spot, like how the fuck it happened. So I'm like, please give a very good reason why he did this, because I need something here.
It's gonna
Well,
have to be them getting the fucking singers back on their side.
No,
I mean,
I think it's because that's Alethkar's like new capital, so that they're trying. He's doing a
don't-
capital rush.
No,
We know that
Shattered
they're
Plains
doing
still
the capital rush.
Why
Right.
would you prefer?
Right.
There's a Z
also-
just dying out.
We're
Why?
jumping all over the place, and I don't even give
We
a
are.
fuck. But and that's I don't care because like there's not like it's fine.
It's not
Am
our
I-
fault.
Am I the only one that under like that's I understood that taking the capital was game over for that nation.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, I thought that was
it's,
known.
It's weird that that's a surprise. Yeah.
Like I thought that was a known quantity,
it was such a
and like
weird
Wit's like, oh my god, how did I not see this? Like I thought that was the agreement all along. What do you mean?
I
like
thought that would
well-
be like, yeah, he's going to the capitals to gain all of you. It's
And
like,
especially he was like, I had to search for hours through all of the bylaws to find this really obscure law that says if you control the capital of a country, you control that country.
I'm like I thought that was the point. Like I thought that it's like that's how you like. I what do you mean? Like it's so strange that they're all like, what do you mean if they take the capital Thanos? They own Thanos. It's like yes, of course. That's what. Yes, of
one of
course.
two- one of 2 things I want to say. One, I don't. This is something not new, but I hate it when that has been happening a bit more in this book. The senator just likes to call people intelligent or say something's really smart or clever when it's really
That's
not. You just state it is. It's like, mate, this was what we all thought. Why do you feel the need to try and say it's clever? Do you think we're idiots? And 2, I hope to God this is not the twist. Because if this was the twist on how Odium uses the contract, I am going to genuinely fucking
This is
flip.
the loophole.
My twist was way better.
What
like-
was it?
That it's
Battle Royale.
going to have more than one champion.
Yeah.
Yes, that would've been better,
And
100%.
cultivation's going to have a champion, and all of a sudden you're going to have all these champions showing up for different entities, and it's just going to be a fucking full
And I
on.
still
mash.
wouldn't have liked that. But I would be better than this.
You didn't like my idea?
I don't like the concept of multiple gods sending their champions. I'm
Look,
fine with multiple champions.
The only
Okay,
thing
this is how you know that Shy was too young to really appreciate Power Rangers.
Yeah,
I've
amen.
never even seen it.
All monkey magic.
so we get I don't even remember. So they shower, then we get some other bullshit, and Gavinor goes, Dalinar, play with me because I don't understand the world's ending, and because he can't sleep either. And it's like, oh, okay. And then Cultivation shows up to talk to Dalinar. But like, fuck Cultivation, by the way. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't. Like,
Why didn't she say the most
Why? What'd she
important
do?
part of it? Why didn't she tell him who it was?
just fuck
I
off?
hate-
Yeah.
I
Like-
sincerely hate the
She's
stupid.
not actually helping him.
Oh, the god, we have to let you do it by yourselves. Even I know that's her thing, but this is one of the things you would expect her to tell. Like, hey, by the way, I
She
replaced
just
him with
left.
Wraiths.
She just left Taravangian, and she sees that Taravangian is fucking just no better, and he's going to be a problem. Then she goes to Dalinar's like, "Yeah, you're
add-
going to have a
Why-
problem. I'll see you later."
why
It's like,
Just
not?
say,
what
oh,
things?
and by the way, if it helps you strategize, you're now playing against Taravangian.
Like,
She's not
why?
helping.
Why would you
But
not
why-
tell them this, especially when it's your own
Okay.
fuck up?
All right,
Yeah,
but you're
it's her
assuming-
fuck up.
You're
Go
going
ahead,
out
Adam.
of your way to be in person to the guy, and you won't tell him one of the most critical parts.
What's up,
Why?
Drew?
But we're all assuming that she's intending to help Dalinar.
She's trying to help herself, but not helping
maybe that's
Dalinar is
part-
not help. At this point, she knows
But-
Taravangian's off the rails.
Yeah.
So whether she's helping Dalinar or not, she needs Dalinar to do well to help herself.
Yeah, but we don't know that. Like, we don't know what Cultivation's end goal is. Her end goal may be to like be the sole shard on this planet and fuck everyone off. That
Yeah,
may be
but
her.
that-
Okay, but if her intention is to be the soul shard, that still requires Dalinar to not get
And
stepped
then
on.
why would she
then-
reveal that Honor still looking for a? That's the only thing I took from all this thing. Honor's alive and looking for a vessel. That's it.
Gotcha. All right, real quick. I'm going to say one positive thing. And I don't know if you guys have already talked about this. The arch
Probably
is
not.
being slightly cracked now. In
Yeah,
in contrast to day one.
Oh, yeah.
Degradation.
I did like that. Sorry, I missed the first
Okay.
part of it.
Wait, say that.
No, I
again?
didn't notice that. That's
I didn't
nice.
hear you. What did you say?
So go up to the arch.
The chapter
Oh.
headings, mate.
Oh,
They get
No,
more
so they're-
cracked. That's the
They're,
oh,
they're
I
digged
listened.
up.
I listened to it, so I don't know. Yeah, I didn't see it.
yeah. So if you compare them, if you compare 15 to 16, there's more cracks
Oh, okay.
in the arches. That's what he's saying, and that is pretty cool. I agree, Alex.
No, that's a cool little touch. Sure.
But that's not why we read a book.
Right?
It's just
So-
a nice touch. It's not the main.
I just don't understand. And then, like, if she's looking to play this, I want to be the only shard thing, then why does she reveal to Dalinar that Honor is floating around looking for a vessel?
Yeah.
It's just weird. Those
So that, like, I'm glad that yes, Honor is alive, according to her. So that's good, but it's
So
just
we did get Adolin speaking about his mum again in here too, right? Which is interesting because Adolin is part, like, after reading Tress, like, spoilers for Tress, but like Adolin is part Iriali at the end of the day, who we learned in Tress that's where they came from before they were on Rosha. So I thought that was interesting.
It's just. Yeah.
This is
The
gonna
fact-
sound bad.
I
I'm
don't-
to the point now where cross references are starting to piss me off. Like
Yeah,
I
I
don't
still
think it's
love
a
it.
big one because I didn't even notice. But I don't.
I love them.
I don't like how Adelin's thing has been now like full fronted in the last book, especially when it was dropped for an entire book. It's
Yeah.
just
I hate. Do you mean he's
Don't-
like whinging about Dalinar?
whinging
I
about
hate-
Dalinar.
because I get there was
I can't
tension,
stand it.
but now you're making the tension fully about this one thing that you forgot to bring up for so fucking long.
The line that bothered me though is he's like, I realize I'm going too far, but I can't help it. I'm like, if you're going too far, that's not something that you would realize. Like
If
the
you
fact
stop-
that you're like the fact that he's so observant to like, oh, I realize I'm being too emotional about this, but
Yeah,
I
then you
can't
would
help
do
it.
Well, and
It's
hey,
like
Hey,
like that
Alan,
that just doesn't make
let me
sense.
let me just ask you, Alan, since you're a father, right?
Yeah,
You know,
I'm a daddy.
Aldan, you're a father, right?
About to have number 4, baby, in a month.
Congratulations, yeah, man.
Popping out, dropping some new merch.
I know, I know that if I was going
God.
into a world-ending event and I had an
Yeah, I talked to my
unspoken
son.
problem
Yeah.
with my son,
He's
I
asked
would
him.
send him off to war without talking to him about it at
Oh.
all and trying to make sure we're okay.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, come on,
just fucking
man.
so
What are we
stupid.
doing? Like, you're basically sending him to die. You're sending, like, 2,000
And he
men
knows
to
that.
Campaign Azier, and
Yeah.
you're sending
And
him to die, and you
and it-
won't talk to him.
And it demonstrates that Dalinar thinks that. Like that's
Yeah.
Dalinar's thought process. He's like, he hesitates because he's like, this is the bad idea, my son, and then
Yeah.
let's just go. It's just it's so
Well,
anti-Dalinar that it's
right.
not fun.
I know we're getting ahead of ourselves again, but he hesitates, and then Adolin goes, "I could do it." It's like, well, no shit, you can do it. That's not why he's hesitating. He doesn't want to send you because he doesn't want you to fucking die. How can you not see that? But you know,
It's just drama. It's like, again,
Dude.
all this stuff is like from a drama perspective, and
Alan's
Exactly.
favorite character
It's-
enters the fray, though.
It's fucking woman drama bullshit.
Starscream,
yes,
baby.
The door to her room
okay.
opened, and 2 more of her team entered the hallway where they'd been hidden. Stargyle, a tall, handsome man.
Dude, I looked him up on the Coppermind. It's not
Garcia.
It's not helping. I
Dude.
don't know. I still don't know who this guy is.
None of these
Apparently,
guys
he
are.
showed up in Rhythm of War.
Well, the fucking shower guy didn't show up at all. Like,
Okay, so
The
something I want to bring
shower.
up now with the Shallan thing. So we have like a few trends popping up, and one of the ones I want to bring up is this weird retroactive shit that's been happening. And with, like, case in point, Shallan for some reason remembering Miraz fondly, despite the fact their entire
Yeah,
relationship
that's
has
so
been
weird.
antagonistic.
It's like he was my mentor. Like you knew him for like a day.
No, I
He
thought
was
I thought-
blackmailing you from
I
day
thought
one.
Tin- I thought Tin was her mentor. How
Like
many
she was trying to, like her entire relationship with Mraize is her trying to infiltrate his secret organization.
There was never
How is that a
time-
mentor?
You got
It's
like
not.
you blushed maybe to 2 compliments. That is it. Everything
like,
else has been blackmail.
Why? Like all of her. Like I swear to God, her light weavers all act like they're stupid. Like they're all stupid. Like
They are
why?
stupid.
Why hasn't Wit joined the light weavers? It's like, are you dumb? Because, like, obviously something like it's like you can't read between the lines, huh? It's like we can't trust Wit because he hasn't come over and
No,
followed
like,
Shallan. It's
okay.
like what?
That is a more fair thing for them to just want to be suspicious of someone who won't join their organization. That's not like a stupid thing. That's just them being short-sighted.
But then they at the same time they go, oh, we don't want any more anyways.
No, that's in the Salon group, not the Lightweavers. There's a
yeah,
difference.
the unseen court. No wonder he doesn't want to hang out with you guys. You're a bunch of fucking dorks.
Yeah.
Like, also, I gotta say, I fucking love when Shy is all business. This man has a point, and he's getting to it, and I
Yes.
love it.
I haven't had a chance in 3 weeks to mention so many of the constant complaints. It's like, ugh.
What do you mean?
I
You've
have been
complaining
waiting for this
every
book
5
for
seconds
4
in the
years.
chat. What do you mean you haven't had a chance? That's all you've been doing in the chat, mate. This is
You
fine.
won't shut up on Discord, man.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I wake up
Neither
in
will
the
you
I
all.
wake up in the morning
Oh my god.
and I get a
sorry.
notification on my phone. I'm like, oh, did my mom text me? What's this? 50
Well, no,
new messages on Discord. Oh, it must be.
I'm sorry that I don't have
Why?
anything to say about Carl.
Wait,
Yeah.
okay, hold on.
not- it's not good
Shallan
enough,
had
mate.
chosen her side, but it troubled her. It's as seemed inevitable. She again opposed to her mentor, her mother, her father, Testament,
Okay, yeah, see,
Tin,
look at this.
and Mraize.
Only one of those was ever a mentor. What the fuck did your mom teach you? What the hell did your dad teach you? What the hell did Testament teach you? What
Testament?
the fuck did Brass
You didn't
teach
even
you?
know Testament was a thing.
Her
Yeah,
father
that's
was
what
just abusive to her.
Yeah.
she was
These
not-
are all just abusive people in your
Like,
life. What the fuck do you mean?
Mentors, mom and dad. Okay, it's like What?
The
Wait.
mom who tried to kill you.
Wait,
the
who
dad
is-
who locked you in a room for so many fucking years and traumatized you.
Who
and
is
beat
Tian?
up your siblings.
Tin is the insufferable
Tin
con
From
bitch
Words of
that she
Radiance.
met when she
Yeah.
Once she
got
met
off
on
the
the road.
boat.
The-
Tin
the
is one of the
only
most
one-
annoying people in the series.
That's
The
not
only
Cal-
one who's
Oh, wait.
What she
He was
killed.
the
Not
priest
Tian,
guy that gave
Tian.
her
No,
jam?
Tin,
No.
Tin
No,
is
the
the
one she
person that
shot,
she
like-
formed Veil off of.
Remember,
Yeah.
she
That-
got off the shipwreck and then she got into like that band and she was
She
one of,
stabbed that
like the
bitch.
mercenary captain and she taught
There's-
Shallan half of the shit she knows.
I thought that was Kaladin's brother.
No, that's Tien.
That's
Okay.
This is
Tin.
Tyn.
Tin was the lady that was leading the.
Teen and Tin.
Tin
Dude,
sucked.
I do not blame you because like it's been like 3 books, and also Tin fucking sucked.
Tin sucks so bad.
Steve
she's
probably
good.
has 200 messages of me
Ugh.
asking him like, "All right, when is this ending? When does she die? Can we please move on?"
Yeah, Tin was terrible. I can't stand Tin. Like they're oh
Was that just
Yeah.
book 1? No, it was book 2.
two. She was
Okay.
she was just in book 2. She had a short stint in Radiance.
Because the boat sinks and she dies?
No. That's
No.
after
No,
the boat
Shallan-
sinks.
No,
kills her.
Shallan fucking kills her.
Oh,
Yeah.
She's the
Yes,
one.
she-
That's when we first see her Shardblade, right?
Yes.
Okay. I still don't remember the character.
It's the only
I
one-
remember she was in a tent and pulled out a sword and killed somebody,
Just
and I
think of-
don't remember the character.
Just think of Veil, but 18 times worse.
And is the only one that fits in that example. Why
That's-
it's like first Shallan and Kaladin's little relationship was retroactively changed to Kaladin
Who is
hiding
Red?
for her.
Who is Red?
What?
Red
I
Well,
remember
it's
his
Fucking
name.
Lightweaver.
It's
Wait,
one
is
of
that a-
one of
wh-
Shallan's boys.
Like
Yeah.
what happened to the leader guy? What's his name?
He's back in the place.
Fabian
So-
or what's his name? You know what I'm talking about? I don't know.
I know what you mean. I think he's still back at Honor HQ.
You know the guy that now is one of her trusted people that wanted to leave her to die. Yeah, that guy.
Vlathis or whatever.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember. So whatever. Red and Dracula are here with Starscream. Red, Dracula, and Starscream are all. Wow. Is this when they're drawing naked people or something?
No, I think that's later. Different
Is that
chapter.
later? Okay.
What chapter are we on? Is this 16?
I don't know. We've been all over the place. It's hard to contain. Like, because this is 16 that I'm scrolling
yeah.
through, but I don't remember. I'll be honest. I don't remember much of it. It's Light Reaver nonsense.
And
we get more-
It was Shallan. Shallan was the therapist in this chapter. She was having like a therapy session with.
Gaz
With
and was
Gaz.
told that she
It
sucked.
wasn't with Gaz. It wasn't with Gaz. She had a therapy session with the guy
Shab.
Red.
who said his heart stopped.
No,
Oh,
that's
Shab.
later.
Shab.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
I want to
Shab.
talk about this. What the fuck was with that bullshit? I don't remember Shab. What? He's just a Radiant who somehow can feel sick despite being in a tower with infinite stormlight that prevents you from feeling like fucking injuries, much less sickness. And then it's just like she manages to. Why are we going through this fucking arc with this one character
Yeah,
we
I've
don't
never
spend
heard of this
any
guy.
time with in this chapter? Why?
I've never
It's not
heard
even
of
a
this guy
book thing.
before. Apparently, he has like he's a hypochondriac,
Yes.
and
Why are we
but
doing
like
this?
it's set up like this is something that we've heard
Who
before.
cares?
It's just
Who
it's
cares?
set up
I
only
don't-
in this chapter and basically
No one
solved
gives a
in this
shit.
chapter.
Well, and then
No one-
like are we like? Is this like? And then we have the scene where she's trying to put shard plate on her other people to try and cheat, and it's like,
Yeah.
Is
She
this
can't
like-
do it 'cause she's not
This
Kaladin.
is a setup for something that's going to happen later, and it's
Yeah,
going to be
later.
Oh, yeah.
stupid later. But
yeah,
But-
like
but
she's
the
gonna
worst
throw
part,
out-
though,
yeah.
Is when she's talking with him during this therapy session, and he says like, "Shallan, you've gotten better at listening to people," and I was just like,
No.
What are
like
we-
listening in a spy sense, maybe?
it was
Shard
just
plate.
so weird.
Shard plate
I don't
needs
remember
power
it being
to
bad at it.
move. Dracula says so. Maybe it's not powered. So why does it work for the Windrunners? Red says, whining. this really isn't fair. It's because Windrunners are cool and Lightweavers suck.
Suck.
Correct.
I still want to focus on the shop thing. He literally just makes a little mini arc for a character. Why? Why
That's-
is this
that's-
happening?
I don't know why we're talking to
that's
Dracula.
It's you pay better attention now. What happened on that trip? I found a few pieces of myself. That I just did not like that line.
It's crap.
Also, yeah, the other retroactive thing of Vale just talking in this chapter for a little bit. It's
why
like,
was
what the fuck
Vale,
was the
like,
point
yeah.
of you dying? Why
that-
did you?
You know, it's worse. It's worse. He said he has a line in there where he says, Shallan, I finally realize that part of the healing process isn't throwing away these alternate egos that I came up with, and it's not good for my psyche. It's learning that the different parts of me are part of me." And I'm like,
That's
but
what it's
but
supposed-
what you're doing is not what you're saying. What
Yeah, that's
what
correct.
what you're
Yeah.
saying, what you're talking
yeah.
about as being healthy is not what you're showing us. She's
That's
she's
what you're
literally
saying.
she's still she literally disassociates like 3 times in this chapter, like and she gives physical cues to her crew so that they know that she's disassociating and changing characters. And you're like, and then she says, "Oh, it's the healthy part would be, oh, I'm acknowledging that
That this is
that
actually
this
me.
part of me or that this personality has always just been
Been
part of
me.
myself."
I'm
Yes,
so sad.
that's correct, Tex, and that's correct. He's getting some really bad advice here. It's like he's getting
I'm
half.
so sad.
But it's
part-
reverting.
part of it-
He
it's
said we were.
reverting
She
what he
said
set
we
up,
were
yeah.
moving on from this, and then she has the audacity to say, "Oh, I've learned that it's just part of me."
And then she
While-
talks as
while
Vale. And then
showing-
she talks as Vale.
While
You're supposed to be
showing that it's
gone.
not. She does the
She
opposite
has
of what she
Vale, and they're
says.
talking in her head. It's like there's no difference to the
She
entire
does
thing that
half
happened.
the chapters as fucking Radiant, hiding again. It's
okay.
like, what?
Actually,
Dude,
how many?
Do you have
how
any
many of the
idea?
endings? How many of the shit at the end of Round were
Ugh.
basically reversed in this? The loopholes, Veil, all of that. Just
The
kept getting
loopholes are
reversed.
stupid. The
The
loopholes are how we all
unexpected.
knew the fucking battle was to
Yeah.
be. Like we
The
all knew it.
unexpected.
Like it's like what? We're not even there yet. But the loophole. It's like, oh, there's a massive loophole. Oh yeah, what's that? Well, if you take the capital, you lose the fucking country. What the fuck you mean? I thought that was the point. Like
I'm not even
what?
mentioning the fucking stupidity of it. I'm just saying you played in a line specifically saying no loopholes, only to be like, oh yeah, now there are loopholes. You played Fail, seemed like she was going to die, only to be like, oh yeah, Vale is actually alive, and still talks in her fucking head. Oh, we're doing this to get more honor spread in Windrunners. Oh, you only got 8 of them. Why? Why
It's
did
because-
you make the ending pointless?
I had my fingers crossed. No loopholes.
Do you have any idea how frustrating it is? Because my wife is a certified Sanderson hater. She has the badge and everything.
Yeah.
And now
Yes,
she's
I'm aware.
and she's gloating now.
Oh yes, but her criticism of Shallan as the TikTok girl. Hi, I'm Shallan, and this is my system. I've always been like, I think that's a little harsh. And then she started giving fucking visible cues to her crew to let them know who she is. She legitimately has a goddamn system. Like,
Hey,
it's
but guys,
fucking TikTok.
isn't it really smart that they?
Hey guys,
don't-
this
they
is my
don't-
alternate.
Yeah, okay, I need to ask because I thought it was dumb. Now maybe you're not the only ones, but why are we using Why are we using Morse code on span reads?
I can find that fine, so they can't read it, or just sends quicker communiques to some extent.
Yeah.
That's like one thing I'm fine with.
That doesn't bother me.
But yeah,
it
it-
bothers
Alex,
me.
it's-
Why?
I am with
It's
you,
a
considering
staple-
how much
Why?
you've
Why?
seen, you know how
because it's quicker.
It-
It's much quicker.
Yeah, but
it's not
when are you gonna
quicker.
get
It's
to?
just
It's
more
not
like-
quicker.
Okay,
Do you know
wait,
how
wait,
many
wait, wait.
bleeps and bloops you gotta get when you can just go?
Okay,
Don't move,
No,
and you
no,
go,
no,
oh
no,
shit.
no. Okay, no. Have you not seen like the races? They've done races between professional Morse code people.
You think Lightweavers are
and-
professional
and-
Morse code people?
No. What I'm saying
I just think it's unnecessary.
They,
and silly.
they've
It's
tested
another-
this scientifically.
it's
Like they've given people cell phones and say, okay, send a text faster than I can do a Morse code and decipher the message. Like it is very, very efficient.
I feel
Okay,
like
but
it would
these
have been
are
better if they came up with
fucking-
another fucking Fabrial or something
I-
for something. I don't know.
Look,
I
I'm
still
a Morse code stan, okay? Morse code's awesome.
I think it is perfectly fine. One, it prevents them from reading the message because it doesn't leave anything on
Yeah, it's
paper.
more secretive. You could do it in your
Yeah.
pocket, you know? You could do
And-
vibrations. Ting, 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 ting. Just shake the
And-
pen back and forth.
Yeah, and there could be faster signals with the non-full messages to be like, we're in trouble, you do like 1 or 2 blinks, that kind of thing.
Look, if you're in the
it's fine, it
casino,
works.
if you're in the casino and you're counting cards and you're trying to signal to
Actually,
your big
no.
to your big player,
Wait.
you're not going to pull out your span read and say, "Okay, we've got a high count on this table." No, you're gonna
Wait.
flick
What,
your
you're
span read
you're,
back and
we
you're
forth.
actually-
gonna
wait,
hold
wait,
a
wait, wait.
span read up in the middle of nowhere and be like, "Hey, look at my span read." Like that's
No,
not
they don't-
suspicious.
no,
No, you could do it in
They-
your pocket. You could.
They show
Well,
it.
this
They-
guy's
they-
gonna be gambling over in the corner. And he's
Steve.
gonna be looking at your fucking
Steve.
Johnson for your span read. Come on.
Look, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about card counting. Okay.
They explained it. They have like a little span read thing on the belt. It's just like
It's-
not the actual span read, just the gemstone, and they use
It's
that
really
to find
fun to watch
They use it to
casinos
signal.
lose money.
There is a practical application to it, and it's the least offensive thing. In this chapter.
I feel like
This is just you, mate. Here's a good reason. It works. It's a thing. Just no.
I just feel like there should have been. I don't. Whatever. I mean, it's not like you
It's
said. It's not the
fine.
biggest fucking deal. I thought it was annoying personally, but that's fine. I don't care. Yeah, and it look in the grand scheme of things, it's definitely not nearly as big a deal as the rest.
Not even a good deal at all. Just nice.
That's fine. I do. So fuck you. All right, there you go. All right, moving on. So
Where are
let's
we?
see here.
What's next?
On the
Complain
problem
about?
scale, though, it's like down here under my table, so it's not that big a fucking deal.
Let's move on to another mountain of problems.
So let's see. Here.
Alan, can you decipher Salty's Morse code while we try and find the next thing that sent Steve into heart palpitations?
Aldan's having coffee, but also, Alex, I wanted to tell you, your situation with Lady B is similar to the fact that, I've argued with Dane so fucking much, and now this book's basically made it so I'm like, God damn it. I can't even defend this one.
So far, it's.
I wouldn't
well,
defend it.
look. The first, it's this group of chapters has not been good. Part 2. Been really not good.
Weren't that
So-
great either.
So they were great, but they weren't this. Right? I mean, there was some stuff in there, but it wasn't this.
I enjoyed most of day one.
Yeah,
I did
day
not-
one is
no, I
far
didn't,
superior.
Alex. I think
Day
this is the
one is far
tolerance.
superior to day 2 so far. Cultivation shows up and says, "Hey, Dalinar, go to the spirit realm." And he's like, "All right, cool."
Which, by the way, I still don't like that the spirit realm is a place that you can go to now. Because it was implied to just be this place of infinite energy and soul magic and all that shit, not really a place.
Well, yeah, no, but it's a realm that you can get to.
I-
It's probably
I
going to be hard to
differ.
traverse.
She asked him.
It didn't seem like traversable. It seemed like a thing. If you were to go into it, you would lose physical form and become part of the infinite.
Maybe, I don't know.
So she smiled.
Maybe Shalon jumps in and dies.
Have you wondered why you are a bondsmith? To unite them.
See, this actually ruins one of my favorite theories. That is, Dalinar is an idiot, and instead of it being unite them, it is literally you, the pronoun, night, the verb, them, the other pronoun. Instead
Them,
of
the
bringing them
sibling.
together, like you bestow upon them a rank.
Maybe.
Unite the clans. Unite the
Uh,
clans, Robert.
I don't know. I just it
Bro.
means many things. Thank you, Dalinar. Wonderful. Okay. I was
this
fine with
chapter
him being
18?
annoyed because cultivation was just being a fucking cock tease, and I'm tired of cultivation being a cock tease. It would be good, and I get Alden, we don't know her motivations, but apparently,
Right.
I still think it seems
over
like a
it.
cop
I'm over
out.
it. I'm
And
over
it's
it.
just too many-
Just stay out of. Just if you don't want to get involved, then don't get involved. Fuck off. Why are you here
But
if you're not going to help?
She
It
definitely
feels
isn't.
like a cop
She
out.
definitely is involved, right? And she definitely has some kind of a plan. Like it was her plan for Taravian to pick up that
Well
to
done.
get
You made
Nightblood
everything
to
worse.
kill Raze.
Look, if the rest of this was good, I'd have no problem with it. The problem is this is one of many like cop out kind of things. It's like, oh, I'm just not going to tell you a vital piece of information I caused to happen.
It was
Well,
weird.
and then we for me, I feel like, and then all of a sudden we get this huge drop in the middle of this chapter that Honor is basically alive.
We all knew that though, didn't we?
Well, no, this
At
is
this
in
point,
the,
it confirms the vessel is dead, but the shard is
this,
not. Like,
we have all
splintered.
suspected that Honor is not. They've all whenever Honor is being referred to, Honor is dead. There's no hope of Honor coming back. The Stormfather's like Honor's gone. This is 100% confirmation that Honor is just floating around looking for another vessel, which is not where we were at like before this chapter.
And correct, Steve. And we find out that the power is in the spiritual realm as well, right? Don't we find that out?
Right. So
that's,
basically
that's completely different than what we
She's
thought
basically sending. It seems like she's basically sending Dalinar to the spirit realm to get Honor's juice.
Which is fantastic. I'm all about that. So all the Dalinar is going to become honest and take a bow. You're probably correct.
Well,
I don't know. I don't think that's how it's going to happen. I think we'll see.
What do you reckon is going to happen? I think that's going to happen now.
I still think it's going to end up being Kaladin at some point, but
what I thought was strange is that the Stormfather was pushing back on it. He's like, "Oh no, you don't. Are there more visions? Like more information is going to be bad for you." I was like, I just don't.
Yeah. How's that possible?
I don't know how that would make sense.
I assume it's because
even
of the
knowing,
experience with Gavilar.
Yeah, but Gavilar
Which,
was
by
a
the way,
dick.
Yeah, by the way, I do now genuinely wonder if that difference in the way the Stormfather talked and everything was intentional or if it was actually now a fuck up. Because now I'm concerned it was a fuck up.
I think at this point, I think it was a fuck up.
Because we've had too many of those now.
Yeah, I think it was just like, yeah, I think they wanted Gavilar to be talking to the Stormfather and they didn't think about it. I think that's what I think happened. So the Stormfather doesn't want to show him any. I don't, I'm not really. I guess when we actually see these visions, I guess we'll have to determine why the Stormfather was so against showing them to him, because he's gonna see him. So we'll see. We'll see there. I don't know what the Stormfather's keeping from him, so I can't really say whether he's right or wrong yet to keep those from him. I would think that the Stormfather would want Dalinar to have as much information as he can fighting Odium, but I guess Stormfather does what the Stormfather does. I guess, right?
And hopefully it's for a good reason and not a shitty one.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not like you get to see Gavilar was a pussy. I just like, oh, great. I already know Kalak is. I already know Kalak is in Shadesmar. I don't give a fuck. Right? Some like weird shit. It's like, the Voidbringer's like, we already know that, dude. Can you please just show me the vision?
Is this where the Stormfather's like, oh yeah, I knew that all along, but I was hiding it from you because I think, you'll make a bad decision if I let you have this information.
Basically,
Yeah. How much worse can the situation be, my dude?
It feels weird.
But hopefully much worse. Hopefully that's the point, right?
It just seemed like a sort of half-assed excuse for we made something new up and needed a justification for why we couldn't. I don't know. I fucking hated it. I'm actually going to say something good. I actually kind of enjoyed the first part of Chapter 17.
Which one? Chapter
the next
17.
What's the beginning of that one? Hold on, let's see here.
Chapter 18.
Or
17.
It's Adolin.
I've got one note.
Adolin and Colin.
Oh yeah, I've got one note from this chapter, and it says Shallan spying on Adolin is shit house. She's a shit person.
She was
and I love
spying
Shallan.
Oh, is this him?
What did you like about it, Alex?
Yeah, Yanagon. Okay.
What did you like about it, Alex?
I liked basically him saying like, this fucking nerd needs some sword time. Like we gotta get
true.
this boy. We need his
Yep.
balls to drop, kind of deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked his interaction with Yanagon.
Yeah, it was good. I think we're setting up Yardagan for the back half to be a pretty major character, just quietly.
It sure seems like it. I mean, it seems like he's grown a lot. I mean, he stands up in the meeting as well. So,
If you would have told me at the end of Edge Dancer that I was going to fucking like Yanagon, I would have told you fucking turn in your damn crack pipe.
yeah, Yanagon has made serious strides forward where others have gone the other way. I think. Fen at the beginning of the meeting in what was it, 18 or 19? I was just like, "Fuck Fen, fuck you, bitch."
I'm like, fuck all of them. I've got my note says Dalinar needs to tell everyone to just fuck off.
Fuck off, exactly. Just needs to bust the Blackthorn out and be like, "All right, you know what? You fucking, I'm taking over. I'm taking over. It's over. Fuck off."
For the next 8 days, literally 192 hours, you can shut the fuck up, or we're gonna lock you in the closet. And
you're gonna bitch about how I deploy troops. Fuck off. You get none.
No.
Fuck
By
you.
the way, they did not give a good reason why they couldn't change the location of the capital. They did not.
They gave no reason.
Because guess what? You change it to your read-through, you make it so there's an official thing where your read-through is the official capital of all the places since it's your coalition. Boom, your entire struggle is fucked.
You can't do that's just that you couldn't do that. You couldn't say, "Oh, the capital of fucking Yarkavet is near."
Literally, you can sign a fucking thing.
Like,
If you can change overnight a city from Istanbul to Constantinople,
that's
No,
a
it's
name,
like-
not a location. That's a
They
name, not a
already-
location.
They
My
already
biggest-
meet at your
That'd be
read-through.
like saying Tex. That'd be like saying,
No.
"Oh, actually, Chicago is Istanbul."
they've done
No,
that.
no,
They've-
no, literally, I could.
We've changed lots of capitals.
No, we literally have an
But you
example
haven't
of this.
moved the capital of
The
Turkey's
Aziz are like
location,
multiple
Tex.
kingdoms that are that have one capital in the like Aziz part. There's a few other kingdoms that if once that capital goes, they all go. Guess what? Just have that be the case with all the kingdoms with your read-through. Your read-through is the main capital of all the other kingdoms
No.
which function
Okay, so
separately.
real quick,
Boom, done.
I do
That's
want to ask, do they? So I feel like the biggest problem with that is they don't say why, and then they don't address the Aesir thing. How, like, okay, they take the capital of Aesir. What about the other kingdoms? They're not really. I mean, they're part of Aesir, but not really. They're their own kingdom. So, what the fuck?
The Empire.
But it doesn't never gets answered. Does it?
No, they say what it is. They say it would be included for some reason. I'm guessing from either some.
Do
Aziz
they
law.
confirm that if they take Aesir?
Yes.
I thought they left it
but
hanging that,
no,
that
they
the other
didn't.
kingdoms.
That's why I brought this up. They literally say the other kingdoms would also fall with the Aziz capital, which is why I'm
It's
saying
part of the
why
empire.
not move it to your read-through? Because that's
Because
basically then the same fucking thing.
I told you why. You can't move a capital of one country to another
You can-
country.
We do it
You
all the
can't
time.
call-
We
We're not
were
saying- they
literally
haven't
going
been-
to do it in Ukraine if Kiev was
What?
was taken by Russia.
Or
Literally,
but where
they- the
if
other
we've already
kingdoms
established that loopholes are a thing,
Yeah.
why don't we just say, hey, as king of Uruthiro, I am now invading your country, have them surrender, and say, okay, now Uruthiro is the capital of your country.
Yeah,
Literally,
just make
say
everything
the
capital.
read-through
Yeah.
is the main capital
I
of
can
the.
accept
It's like
that.
saying,
I
I
can
could
accept
defeat
that
the
explanation.
like you. What?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Dalinar should just. It's combined with what we all just said. Dalinar needs to say, "Fuck you all. I'm taking over." Okay. All of
Literally
your kingdoms are now under my rule. Urithiru is the capital.
All
And
of
they
your
can't-
base
that's
are
averted.
belong to us.
Literally say
I can
this.
accept
Sign this document that makes me the official single ruler for 10 days.
No signing documents.
No,
Dalinar
he
would
just
start
takes that
cutting heads
shit.
off.
I am the leader of the Knights Radiant. Do you want my protection? Then I am now the warlord of fucking Roshar. I have taken your
get out.
cities. If you don't want my protection, good fucking luck.
I mean,
The
What's
fucking
that
the capital
the
of
explanation they
nation of
give-
Dalinar is Urithiru, which will never be taken because the siblings like fuck everything. I'll kill them all.
The
Done.
explanation
Loophole
given in
averted.
the explanation given in the chapter is that there is some random obscure ass code deep in fucking
Oh yeah, Alethi law.
a Lethe law that says you can't
Yeah.
do this.
But they don't.
Why?
Say
He
what
does.
it
He's
is.
not. He's not the king of Alexthar anymore. He's the king of Urithiru.
Steve, I am not defending it. I am
Okay,
merely
It's
giving
so
you.
stupid.
Because if he just do what Galvalar did, only on a world stage, just take it over and make Urithiru the capital.
You almost
Problem
fucking
solved.
did it.
Right? I mean,
Literally, just
Yeah.
say, "I will save
did.
your kingdom." Just bow to fucking knee to me.
yeah. Your kingdom is now mine.
You
Oh
will
wait, and there's
literally
the veil
lose
thing.
nothing then.
Bow to me.
Stargile is back. Thank God. I missed you, Stargile.
It's such a dumb. I can't take it seriously. Why would you name one of your characters
Starscream.
Stargile?
Starscream. Like, I don't know where Stargile came from. It must have been one of Sanderson's cats or something. I don't know.
I fully understand that I'm reacting like that. I'm having a visceral reaction to the name because it makes me think of Argyle, which was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in
No,
my
I
life.
never watched it. I knew that was
I don't care about the name.
But
It's just
a really
weird.
dumb name.
It's just weird. It's just so weird. Hey, there's your Shab. Okay, we finally made it to Shab.
My boy,
Shab, one of the
Shab.
other light weavers.
dude, he's
We
my
don't
favorite
really
character.
give a shit about having his own little mini arc on a thing that doesn't even make sense. Because how the
You
fuck
don't-
do you
Oh,
feel?
by the
scared
way-
of Radiant?
By the
Dude,
way,
best character in the book,
it's confirmed again that Gaz is a piece of shit, and he's still gambling his fucking life away. Way to grow, Gaz. Good job. Shalon's suggestion for Gaz was just gamble less. Okay, great job.
Okay, that is
Uh,
such a bad suggestion, though. Dealing with
that's what I'm
addiction.
saying.
Hey, like
Why?
just
Why
do a
gamble
little
less?
bit. Just take a little bump of cocaine, okay? Don't go on a full weekend bender.
Yep.
Just one drink. It doesn't matter that you're an alcoholic. Just take a nightcap before bed, and all in moderation, my friend.
He intentionally made her somewhat canonically dumber, and for a thing that we've already had with theft, and Kaladin just did it better with helping the addiction. He's like,
Yep.
anytime he knows that he's in he like makes sure the bars never will serve him. They ban him from each one and drag him out.
Yeah, Cal.
Like, why are we
yeah.
doing
But
this?
instead of getting ridiculed, she gets praised because she's better at paying attention now. You
And the
pay
whole-
better attention now.
So instead of pissing your whole paycheck away, just piss away 75% of it. Then you can eat still. So that's the best way to deal with gambling addiction. Good. Well done, Shalon. Great. Yeah, and Gaz, I'm so glad Gaz has come so far. Whatever, like
that is a good tactic if you are like a professional card counter or a professional poker player. Yes, you want to have a budget and stay within the budget so that you never, like, but not for someone who's a gambling addict.
that's damnation. That's Shab. He spotted a ghost blood. You were right. I always am. She paused, except with gambling advice and jokes. My jokes are incredible.
Oh.
They might need to be honed a little, but that's a dull knife. But even a dull knife can kill somebody.
No,
What the fuck? What?
What was the joke though? That there was a joke in these chapters about like the toe. There was a toe joke.
Toe up. Scroll
Yes.
up one
No,
click, Steve.
toe
You'll
up.
find it.
I don't
No.
understand. I did not understand the joke. What
I
was the
genuinely
joke?
think BS
Tough
has kind
and
of started
toe
to get.
up sound similar is the joke.
Because
It's
what?
super lazy.
Tough and toe up.
There is nothing.
Right,
good
right.
about
No,
it.
no, no. I get that they sound similar, but that's not how puns work.
We
Alan, what do you want me to say, dude?
No, no, no.
This
Were
is-
they talking about toes previously in that chapter?
no,
What?
literally no. There's nothing good about the joke. There's nothing. You don't get it. This is the worst
Look,
joke I've ever heard.
I'm a professional comedian. Okay, I did improv for 20 years. Okay, I know how puns work. You can't just say, hey, these two things sound the same. You have to connect them.
I don't.
Twice.
There was
Hey.
no connection. There really
They have to
wasn't.
sound the same, but there also has to be a reason why you're connecting it to a toe.
Aldan.
If he look, like, you know, it would have worked if he stubbed his toe and said, "I'm not gonna cry about it because I'm tough,"
Okay.
and then she said, "No, you're toe off."
Show
Then it would have made sense.
Genuinely, the
Oh,
only
no.
way the joke works is in the meta way where it seems he has become aware that people aren't a fan of some of his humor, and so he just decided to do the laziest fucking joke because then it's acknowledged
No.
afterwards how bad it is.
No, it's not a lazy joke, though. It's not a joke. There is no. I don't understand. There is no joke.
I
What
don't
the
get why he did
What
this.
the fuck, guys? What the fuck happened between day 1 and day 2? Was he like on a
What do
bender
you
or
mean?
something and he didn't write? I don't. This does
There was-
not
this has
feel
been
like
the case.
anything he's written ever.
This has
These
been the
chapters
book.
don't feel like anything. Doesn't feel like anything he's ever written ever.
It's not just day 2. It's been the whole book.
I,
It's
not
been
to
this
me.
whole
I
book.
mean, you may disagree, Will, but
Guess
I
who
just
has become? You have all
Whatever.
came around to Alex's and mine's position. Let's face it, we have been saying this from day 1, literally.
No, I'm not coming to your position.
I actually,
Let's-
I
let's be
actually,
really, I'll be really clear. I'm not coming to your position at all. I'm saying that nothing. The only thing that's changed for me is that there's a pattern of behavior in this book now that I don't like, and it's not the book that we were promised. It's not Zeth's
That is
book.
what we've been saying. What
Okay.
do you mean?
so
I don't think
Yeah,
that's
go
what
ahead,
you
Say
would
that's
say.
at the start when there was no
Yes, it
pattern
is.
to even be.
go
You've been
ahead.
saying
Evan.
that since the start, but there's no pattern to even be formed. There is. We've gone through day 1, day 2. If day 2 didn't kick off with like, okay, now like let's lock in on Zeth and Zeth's story, then I think we've got a significant problem. That's where we're at. So
It's
I'm
like
saying
we've got.
now,
It's like we've got
I
lost that we
mentioned a
forgot that
pattern.
this is supposed to be what we all wanted is Zeth, you know, cleansing Shinovar and finding out why he became truthless and everything that goes with that. We are 20 chapters in and we haven't even got a hint that we're going to even talk about it.
And it's not just that we haven't even got a hint of it. What we have got is all this weird sexual bullshit.
Yeah.
Right?
And stuff
Yeah.
that contradicts or messes up other things that have been set up, or just haven't been set up, or were
The
set
chapter-
up literally at the
the
same time it resolves.
The chapter art's nice.
Shy,
though.
I'm gonna say, I know you're right. You know you're right. They know you're right. But we're gonna win with dignity here. We're going to we're gonna let them pretend that they're not coming around our point. It's fine. We can move on for the good of the stream.
I will come around to your side on the instant
Look,
that I have no other choice but to do so.
Oh,
But I will
okay.
do.
I
will
hope
do it, mate.
there
Look,
I
is
will
no
come to
need-
your
We're-
side,
we're-
mate.
We're
Seven,
shy.
look.
We're winning with dignity.
Yeah,
Look,
aware.
no,
I'll say
look,
this. I
it's-
hope
it-
there is no need you have to. I hope it gets better.
Well, like that's that's it hurts. It's fucking it's
Yeah.
really bad, and it's like these 7. You know, you guys, it brings some of the glaring problems from the day 1 right to the forefront. It's like there was some fine stuff in day 1. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
enjoyed some of the parts of day 1, but then like the fucking Chol vagina shit, like it's like what is that? Like it makes those things come to the forefront. It's like who like
Yeah.
who's got a hold of Sanderson's typewriter? I like what is going on here? I don't understand.
Staplebow, I still want to know if you can confirm if he's gotten a new editor recently, because if that's so, I really need to know this right now.
I think this looks
Whenever
like,
you find
like
it.
writing
Also,
documentary.
if you had the person's address, Shy would like that as well.
So
This is true.
So okay, and so there's only one Dustbringer. What?
Yeah, one.
What? Like
They can't fight this army. They
they
can't.
can't.
Fight this
It's
army.
over. Like you have wind. The only
They're
troop
great
you have.
underclass.
You have. The Dustbringers are one of your offensive fucking weapon classes.
Have they
like,
mentioned where the Dustbringers are on the offensive side?
they're
Because they're supposed to be in Carbont, I thought, right? Because they were with the diagram.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
that
I don't
two of-
Well, I
there's
thought
two
there
of
was
them.
one. We did get any information. I thought there was one Dustbringer with Teravangian. I didn't know it was all of them.
I thought it
Oh,
was
that's-
all of them. I thought a lot of them decided to side with him for some. I think.
thought he
I
had-
swear they mentioned this.
Yeah, it's possible,
like, the
but
last- I think they mentioned it in like Row before, like they were during the time that all of the diagrams people were leaving. I think they mentioned that about like the Dustbringers or something. I'd have to go back.
I don't know. I thought it was one Dustbringer. Like we've only really been introduced to one.
We've only met one.
There's
and
more.
she's
I noted they found more sense.
Did
I'm
they?
gonna look
Okay.
that up.
I'm not 100% sure, but the fact it's like so now we have a bunch. We have what 208 Windrunners, even less of what Edge Dancers, and one Dustbringer. That's good. They're gonna fight 1,000 fused. Like what? And not even that. They're all spread out. Like what are the numbers? I need to. It's important. I need to know. You're giving the enemy numbers. You're not giving us the good guys' forces the numbers of combatants.
I feel like it's.
And then you've let Zeth and Kaladin, two of your most dangerous weapons, go off on a journey of self-exploration. It's like send them after. They're like Zeth and Kaladin could probably take on a few hundred, like together, like probably take on quite a few by themselves.
The problem is now that any kind of solution is going to feel like Deus Ex Machina.
It's going to feel contrived, yeah.
By the way, this is something that I was looking at the Deathbringer copper mine just for a bit to see, and one of the biggest reasons why the Deathbringers don't like the Radiant is because of what happened about the Spren dying with the Knights forsaking the Odes. I really hope that the new news that's been made gets acknowledged with the Dustbringers. Since, I feel like that would be something we should see.
Well, I mean,
since that's their main reason for not helping.
What new news?
Remember that the Radiants didn't kill them. This was something they both agreed on. Like, that was the entire thing about Adolin the last thing, is confirming the story. And that's why the Dustbringers are mad. So I really hope we get to see them acknowledge what actually happened.
But that girl's not going to care. That one Dustbringer that we do know, she's just a kind of a thing.
That is the person, yes, the Spren. I'm curious, because that's the entire motivation of the Spren, as far as we know, as well as just a group. And the Will Shapers.
Yeah.
Just, okay. That's just something I need to mention, because I'm like, we really should probably get that at some point, and I hope we do.
True.
Well, how many Will Shapers is Venli gonna fly out of Narok with to save the day?
Well, hopefully 900, right?
Yeah, at least, right?
Well, hopefully none, because I can't fly.
Yeah, all
of the ground.
All of the Parshmen she ran off with are gonna be fucking full radiance when she comes back, and she's gonna take over the tower or some bullshit. It's like, what the fuck?
The weird thing is that like.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad.
But Sanderson knows this stuff. Like he was recently just talking on his podcast about, like, someone asked him, like, oh, now that you're a much more accomplished, more comfortable in your writing skin, what are some of the things you'd change? And he said, like, oh, it's pretty much, I've been acknowledged that the ending of the first Mistborn book isn't very good because it's Deus Ex Machina. The solution to the end of that book was something that was always the plan, but I didn't set it up very well. And now he's doing the same thing in this book. I can't imagine that you don't know that this is a problem. So it's just it's baffling. It's baffling to me that we're having these issues because Sanderson is such a good writer.
He's managed all of these elements before.
Yeah, like
I feel like he's gotten lost. I feel like he's I feel like where we're at, like it just gauging the material from where we've gauged it, or where we're at. I feel like he's gotten lost. I feel like he put this hard and fast rule that 5 will be the end of this era, and now he can't fit it all.
But that's the thing. It doesn't feel like he doesn't have enough time to finish it in one book. It's that he's not. He hasn't done anything with these chapters.
Yes. But the reason I say that is because we've completely thrown Zeth's story into the trash can.
Right, but I don't think it's a timing issue.
We haven't started it. If it's going to happen, we haven't started it yet, which is
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. We're not getting flashbacks this book.
I think that's not true, man.
He has to put.
I do think we're going.
He
wrote. I think it's going to be abridged from what we're all hoping we get. But I also think you guys are dead on here. The efficiency of these first 20 chapters has been fucking awful.
Well,
This could have been done in 5 chapters.
It could have been done in
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. I mean, you could have done a chapter of Kaladin saying goodbye and taking off. You could have done a chapter of both cultivation, talking to Dalinar, and the wit reveal. This is just brutal. I
mean, I guess you could argue he wants to make sure that all of the characters get to say goodbye to each other before half of them
But that's
die.
not happening.
But even then, they haven't. That's not what we've gotten.
Yeah.
So that can't be the explanation.
Before Kaladin got his goodbye, which was the really good chapter we all liked.
Yeah,
they
the
didn't
one
have
good
the
chapter.
Still and Kaladin library chapter. Like, why is that there? This is for goodbyes. That's not there for that.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think it's really, 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 really important to remember as well that and I don't think he will probably do this again. Like releasing his books chapter by chapter like this is a horrible idea. It's not. His books don't work in this format. You could do this with a Carl book or whatever, where you've got constant action and this sort of stuff. This just leaves open to interpretation all of your worst fears and all of these things for Brandon's books that could possibly go wrong. And in the case where you have the whole book, maybe you don't feel like that. You just feel like it's a slow start. Potentially. Okay, this is best case scenario, right? So what I'm saying is, like, it's important to remember that, and it's easy to just go, fuck, this is going to be horrible. That's not necessarily going to be the case. It could have just felt like a slow start.
There's a possibility we hit day 3 and we start rolling. I am not like, so you may be right. But right now, like,
yeah, it's horrible.
I don't know. I don't like. Look, and I'm not going to get bogged down on it. Right? You know, we'll talk about Carl when we talk about Carl. But I had a lot of trouble not switching back.
That's made it worse. Steve, I think what you're saying is important for us to acknowledge as well, right? I think that's really brought it home for me.
Yep.
That's made it worse. So like reading Carl, but that's not just this book, because I was reading another book which I was really enjoying that I've had to put down because I can't read that and Carl at the same time because Carl is that good. So I think that's important to acknowledge as well.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's more than just the quality of Carl, though.
Yeah, it is. It is more than the quality.
It's the pacing. It's the efficiency. Yeah. It's the fucking excitement. Has fucking homeboy Sanderson forgotten that these books are supposed to be like action-packed and fun?
I'm not even like. Here's the thing. My favorite one was Oathbringer. That doesn't start off action-packed, but a lot of stuff happens. A lot of information and changes happen.
I think Oathbringer is probably my favorite too, just because Thalen Fields and all Dalinar's arc in that book is so fucking good.
Yes.
That it's just, every Blackthorn chapter, I'm fucking in there, just fucking eating it up, right?
Yeah.
Really
but
good.
we don't have any of that here yet. Yeah. Just none of it. By the way, can anybody tell me why we give a fuck about the mink?
We don't. I don't.
Is that in the next 2 chapters that I haven't read yet?
He's mentioned here. It might be in the next 2 chapters, Alan. I just, the only reason I brought it up is because he's mentioned.
He's the smart guy that's super smart.
The mink is supposed to be this godlike general guy that fucking Dalinar moved heaven and earth to save her dad because he's this tactical genius motherfucker.
And we've heard nothing about him yet.
So he shows up in the next chapters, the ones you haven't read yet, and all he does is parrot exactly what Dalinar says, contradict what Dalinar says, second guess everything, and then he gives no fucking no plan of his own. He's like, that could end disastrously. That might work, but I don't know. It's like, I hate the mink. I fucking hated the mink in this.
I need to pause discussion
so
for a
fucking
second.
cool, and he just was not good in this. It's devastating to me. Like, this is crazy. I hate this. I really fucking hate that.
I know.
Here's a good comparison, I think, because
I fucking hate it.
On my channel, I watch a lot of bad television. Okay, and I promise I'm not bringing up Rings of Power, but it could be used as an example. Okay, but what a frequent sign of like a good way to tell that a show's gonna be bad is when they do, hey, for the first week, we're going to release 3 episodes. We're going to release 2 episodes. They do it for 2 reasons. They do it because it will pad their numbers for their premiere. Oh, if you have 3 episodes, people are going to watch all 3, and we get to count all of those numbers as a day 1 viewing, right? And it also they also do it when they know that a show is badly written and slow, and they know that if they only released 1 episode, no one's going to come back the next week, which is what they did with Rings of Power for both seasons. It's what they did for Wheel of Time. They did 2 episodes. It's what they did for a whole bunch of shows that everyone predicted, hey, this isn't going to be very good, and it was always correct. Now, I don't want to say that's why he's releasing these chapters, right? That doesn't seem like the motivation behind it, but it's having a similar problem where we're only getting 1 episode and it's really slow.
Maybe, yeah. I don't. I just my problem with the Mink is just like he was built up and he should be great, and I feel like the little bit we got of him was not like what we just got of him. Like he literally just doesn't do it. He doesn't suggest a course of action. He doesn't come up with a nifty different tactic. He just stares at Dalinar after Dalinar says something and agrees with him or says that could be bad. It's like that's not what I thought you were supposed to be. This like I was thinking he was going to come up with like some. I thought he was going to say, you know what, we need to just let fucking Azir go and defend these other 2.
Yeah,
or he's going to say,
like
or he's going to say something like that. He was going to be like, tactically, it doesn't make sense to defend this position. We need to let that position go and reinforce this position. If we can reinforce those positions, maybe we go. And there was a little bit, but it was like it's like we need to let this go. We can come back and take that back later.
Right.
But we need that. We can't lose Thalana. If we lose the water, we have to defend that at all costs. Or like something tactically sound that was like a different point of view than everything that was going on. And we didn't get any of that. It was just like the same old stuff.
Yeah, I haven't read the chapters yet, but that doesn't sound encouraging. And having just finished reading The Fall of Hyperion, that's exactly what they do in that book. They get overwhelmed with overwhelming odds, very similar to what's happening in this book, where, like, we can't win this fight. And the very first thing that the person in charge does, who's absolutely stone cold awesome, is, yeah, that planet's gone. I'm not sending any of our forces to save it.
He didn't even just like he didn't suggest it.
If anyone can get out now. But that planet, that entire planet, is destroyed, and we're putting our forces here.
It's like he sort of dances around it, but he doesn't ever make a suggestion. He just he's like, that could be a good plan too. Yeah, maybe that. It's like, dude, I thought you were the tactician, man. Like, you're the guy.
It's compounded and made worse by the fact that everything so far in this book is like undercutting Dalinar's character and his agency so far, right? And then you've got the Mink that's supposed to be this super general
genius,
which is taking something else from Dalinar's character that he's had previously as part of his agency, and so it's compounded by that because we're taking agency from him in all areas, and this one's the most visible. And we've got a target to pin it to on the milk, and it sucks, man. It really sucks. I hate it.
I wanted the Mink to be so good,
ripplingly unfunny.
I want to interject for a second because I've been meaning to say this. So I finally decided to search for what Staplebo said, and I was able to confirm this. He hasn't had a new editor ever since Rhythm of War.
Rhythm of War
Rhythm of War was also shit, so...
It was the worst of the 4. It wasn't nearly so terrible that I didn't want to read it, but it was also the first... Yeah. It was the one I clearly labeled the bottom.
It's definitely the bottom of the series now, but yeah. I'm with you. I agree with you, Shai, on that one. But
so yeah, it's like he has a new editor who's been taking charge of Stormlight and also to extend his other series.
I wouldn't put it on the editor. I'd put it on the focus groups.
You can't put the name in the private chat. I have a theory.
I don't know if you can. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I like the focus group.
I
yeah,
do
like Alan
still
said.
think the editor probably deserves some blame for not having
I don't know.
pointed this shit out.
Maybe,
That is
but-
the
but-
editor's
but-
Look, there's a
job.
lot of eyes on these books. Like Alan
Yeah,
said before,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
a lot of
that's-
eyes on these books.
There's
That's
a
the
fault on a
that's
lot
the
of
thing. There's
places.
there's an editor. There's focus groups. There's so many eyes looking at this book
There's too
that
many.
you got to go with Occam's razor here. Like the most the
The most
and I hate
logical-
to say this. I hate to think that this is what's going on. But the best solution, the easiest answer for this is that it's Sanderson. It's the source.
Is he trying?
It obviously
change.
is, but
Is he trying to please too many people? There's
Yes.
too many eyes. He's trying to please
I,
every
Yes.
group.
I think
don't know.
I think the person who started this series is very
I think
different
so.
from the Brandon Sanderson that we have today, and that horrifies me.
I do agree. It's just still so weird.
I think he's
this
surrounded
is-
himself.
come
If you
on.
look at the people that he surrounds
Yeah.
himself with, the people that have his ear, his writing sources, podcast, and all of those psycho feminist women that he's friends with, and
Yeah.
and even Dan, you know, I think he's been changed
starting-
by I think he's been changed by osmosis.
Well, it looks like,
Like
it.
I think his core principles are changing,
It looks
and
like
and
it.
his books are too, and I hate
problem-
I hate to even
Don't-
consider that, but that I mean, what other explanation is there?
We've known his core traits have been changing. It's just this is the first time it seems to have impacted the
Come
on,
quality
the
of
book.
work.
Yeah, correct.
severely.
That's correct, Char. That's correct. That's correct, mate. And it's
Um,
and that's what's going to be it's the only. It is
But
the
are
logic.
we also? Well, I guess we're talking about 7 chapters. Do we feel like this is a blip we're going to get by? I hope it is. I hope
so.
it's just a blip. I hope it's just a blip. But I
no.
hope it's not a fool's hope. But I mean,
Yeah, if the rest of this book is awesome, I could overlook. I had serious problems with book 4 as well, but I still enjoyed reading it.
If the rest is awesome, at least that means he is still capable.
hopefully
of it.
day
He's
2 is
just
just like the shittiest day of the week, and it's like right. It's just like day 2 is the low point, right? I don't know.
He did just write The Sunlit Man, and that book was
I
fantastic.
love Sunlit Man. I really do.
so that's why it's so jarring, right? Because I just read that book and it was phenomenal, and it was Stormlight adjacent, and so we're ready to dive. We're like, oh baby, I'm ready to dip my toe back in that water. I'm going to jump into the Stormlight pool, and it's been lukewarm, and it's shocking.
awesome.
It's like I never expected
this.
me to be saying these words.
I never
Yeah.
expected to be 20 chapters into Wind and Truth, and we still haven't got our Zeth chapter yet.
They just
I
landed in
can't-
Shinra.
We haven't
I
gotten
cannot
this next
believe-
chapter. Kaladin hasn't pulled a weapon.
No, in fact, and he's scared of flowers. But at least Zeth called him out for it. But the problem is, I think that Brandon thinks that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, and that's maybe to me, that's the question: is if we went back and read Way of Kings, are any of these characters recognizable?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Kaladin
That's-
isn't.
And
Kaladin
and,
isn't.
and, and
Kaladin
to
isn't.
take it a
Kaladin's
step
completely
further,
different.
let's say they've all changed. Are any of them better?
Well, it's like
I'd
So
take
I think that's
I'd-
a better point, because
I'd take Blonde.
you want characters to evolve, right? But I don't think they're. I think they're supposed to be evolving, but they're
We want them to
They're
evolve in a path that seems affected by the actions they've taken, the things that they have hold in principle, and it doesn't feel like that anymore. And it feels like
Right.
they've been taken to different paths.
the chapter art is really good.
I'd say
by the way.
I'd say that Dalinar and Adolin are recognizable.
I
Yeah,
would agree with that.
Adolin getting a bit far off.
The
though.
caveat that I would throw with you at Dalinar is Dalinar was at his best when he was the Blackthorn.
Yeah,
Dalinar was at his best in
yeah,
book
but
three.
but from book 1 we didn't have the Blackthorn.
no,
We got the Blackthorn in flashbacks.
no, but even in book
But he
one,
wasn't
he was
rolling
more serious.
over. I feel like he's rolling over right now. And
I
just
mean, like,
He's
I don't
rolling
know
over.
what I'm doing. Like, I'm scared of. I have to prepare for my one-on-one bat. It's like you have 8
So the
days.
hard-
You're just gonna do nothing. You're the strongest dude on the planet. You're
So
not
the
gonna
hard-
do anything.
So Steve, the hope that I've got, the hope that I've
It's
got
so weird.
is that he's trying. If he's playing that we're getting 4D chess. That's the hope that I've got. That we're getting put in this place where we're like, Dalinar's having like everything, like all of his agency removed from him and stripped from him, and he's getting ruled by committee and all this sort of stuff, and we're going nowhere. We're treading water, and I'm just hoping that we're setting up this like fucking King Daddy steps up.
I have this just
I can't see it
sinking
happening,
feeling,
but
and I'm gonna say it, and I don't want to say it, but I have this weird just in my chest that we're gonna send Dalinar to the spiritual realm. He's gonna become Honor, and then Honor's back, and all the fucking Honor Spren are gonna flock to him, and then all of a sudden we're gonna have all these fucking Windrunners out of nowhere, and Deus Ex Machina Part 2. Like, I fucking hope that is not what happens. I have a feeling that's what we're setting up, is because right now I really need troop numbers to know where the fuck we're at, because contingent of 1,000 fused are being sent to the Shattered Plains.
They're
So
trying to establish stakes, but we don't have
1,000 fused.
We just can't track it all.
Can't die. They don't die.
Yeah.
What is going to?
We need to know what the stakes for the good guys are.
Also,
That's just the ones going to the Shattered Plains. I know that's the bulk of them, but it's 1,000 immortal souls that are just looking to destroy you.
Wait, we also haven't mentioned this. What the hell's happening with anti-investiture? We had that shit created last book. Are we doing anything with them against the immortal creatures?
I don't
Well,
know.
it's going to be different now, Shy, anyway, because if we're thinking about
The rest of the book is going to be just Oppenheimer, but with
Or are they going to
with
figure out
Navani.
how to, or it's either going to be, or they're going to figure out how to get, Navani is going to create some fabrial that allows them to take tower light out of Urithiru.
Oh, I hope that's not a thing. I like Tower Light. I also like that it can't be moved.
Well, but I think, why do you
that's
think
a
she
cool
mentioned
mechanic.
it? She's already going down that path. She's
don't-
already talking about it.
The fact that she's mentioned it is pretty much confirmed it will be moved. Which
I
think it
might
by
be-
the rules it should be possible, but I don't want her
It
to
might be.
the one to
It
do
might be in one of the chat.
What's Brandon Sanderson's number one rule with magic? Limitations are more interesting than powers.
He genuinely has not always followed that rule in some places.
So I think that might be in the
a big
chapters
one.
that you might not have got to yet, Alan. But she starts talking about and speculating on how to get
Gross.
tower. She asks.
I don't like it.
And the tower, and the sibling goes, "You can't do it." And she goes, "I wonder." Like, basically, she's thinking, "I wonder how I can make this happen. We need to make it, because Tower Light is so much better than Stormlight. We need to be able to do this shit." So she's already on a path to doing it.
All right. Well, if you guys are gonna get into to 19 and 20, then I'll peace out, and you guys can. I don't really care about spoilers. I just can't contribute because I haven't read them.
I think you'll be able to follow the conversation.
Okay. In that case, then I do want to talk about your criticisms of the mink.
Okay, please do, because yes, you're right. You're right. No, Stormblast, you're not wrong. They do die for a few days, but the point is 1,000. I don't have any idea right now. Right now we're sort of speculating that the Windrunners where we're at. There's 208. Is that what we said from the last numbers we got? There's maybe 208. And then
they're spread as thin as Bilbo's toast.
Right. And then we have 1,000 fuse headed towards the Shattered Plains. And that's not even all of them.
And we've already seen the average Windrunner struggles against one fused.
Right. Like what just happened in Shadesmar. They got their asses handed to them almost, right? By just a few heavenly ones. So it's like the fused are too strong right now. They're just compared to the Radiants, because the Radiants aren't even united. They're all it's
a weird scaling problem.
I just need to know, and maybe we're building to that, but right now there's I feel like right now Taravangian could just bowl over Roshar.
Yeah, just show up and kill everybody. It doesn't make it. It's odd that he hasn't been more bold. If he has this many troops, just win.
They're probably supposed to feel that way.
But it's not.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's not. But no. But see, no, because if there's 1,000 invested fused to 200 windrunners, they will get slaughtered.
Yeah, they will.
Like it's not a competition. It's over. It's 4-1.
It's kind of making Odium look stupid if he has this much power and he's not using it. You're like, well, what are you doing with your life?
And if they win that battle, it's like, well, then the Windrunners are fucking unbeatable.
We haven't even mentioned the Unmade.
The Skybreakers are out there too. There's a full contingent of Skybreakers out there. There's a rogue element of Dustbringers out there. Like what is the defending? What is the good guy? What is the good guy numbers? I need to know.
The problem isn't obviously we're supposed to have this feeling of being overwhelmed, right? That's what he's trying to go for. The problem isn't that we have that feeling. The problem is we don't have clearly established stakes for the good guys, and so any like I said earlier, any solution that we come up with is going to feel cheap if we haven't clearly established the stakes.
There's no hope for reinforcement.
I'm going to bring it up again. You said you weren't going to do it. I will. This is Rings of Power, Season 2.
I didn't do it!
How am I supposed to know what the stakes are or what the desperation is if at any moment in time Sanderson can have a random contingent of Windrunners who we've never heard about before come out of the woodwork and run into the bad guys?
Yeah.
He hasn't done that.
If you're going to do a slow build, you need to build up the stakes, and you need...
What I'm saying is that there is, because that possibility exists, I'm having a very difficult time sort of feeling the tension.
I feel like it's too lopsided. It's just
it is too lopsided.
It's too lopsided. I understand
there's shard bearers.
There's two shard. There's shard bearers are nothing compared to a fused. They can mow through shard bearer. Yeah, it's better than a regular troop, but not too much when you have people that can go through the ground and suck you through the ground, and then all of a sudden you're in your shard plate in the ground. Like,
I mean, just look at the books. Like, ever since we've established that, now the Radiants are back, like the books barely even mention that shard bearers are a thing.
Yeah,
Adolin's like the only one, and he's the one, like he's special.
He's on the way.
They mentioned it a little bit, like Yasuno was disguised as one for a while. They're still kind of around. But yeah, they've definitely lessened in importance, which is expected.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Can I talk about the Mink now?
Yeah, please do. Please
okay,
do.
So all of what you were saying about how he just doesn't do anything reminded me of an amazing quote from God Emperor of Dune. Can I read it for you? The context is this is a deity entity who's turned himself into someone who can see into the future and the past indefinitely, and he's waxing philosophic about what makes a good leader. So this is like the ultimate intelligence, and this is his interpretation on what a good, strong general or a good leader should espouse. And it's really freaking cool, because the first time I read it, I was like, oh, that sounds like my wife's boss. No wonder she hated him. But he says the difference between a good administrator and a bad one is about 5 heartbeats. Good administrators make immediate choices. Acceptable choices, they can usually be made to work. A bad, like whether or not the choices are good, it doesn't matter. They can be made to work. A bad administrator, on the other hand, hesitates, diddles around, asks for committees, for research and reports. Eventually, he acts in ways which create serious problems. A bad administrator is more concerned with reports than decisions. He wants the hard record he can display as an excuse for his errors. And good administrators, they depend on verbal orders. They never lie about what they've done if their verbal orders cause problems, and they surround themselves with people who act to act wisely on verbal orders, often the most important piece of information is that something has gone wrong. Bad administrators hide their mistakes until it's too late to make corrections. Men of decision is what you need in a good administrator. One of the hardest things for a tyrant to find is people who actually make decisions. Most bureaucracies before mine, the perfect being, sought out and promoted people who avoided decisions. And that's why I'm sure I'd be disappointed reading about the Mink as well, having just read a really cool book with an awesome administrator who was willing to make mistakes, but she was making choices, and they were brutal, honest decisions where she, within 5 words, she condemned entire planets of people. But it's all for the, like, you have to have someone who could just make those brutal choices.
Yeah, and it's
Not my wife's current boss. She has a great boss now. I don't want to
Well,
get her in trouble.
It's almost worse than that though, because you know, the Mink, it's not even like he makes decisions.
Yeah.
You know, Dalinar is
No, that's the
still-
thing. He's a bad administrator if he's not making decisions. He's looking around saying, "Oh yeah, that could be a good choice, or this could be a good choice. Let's look at the statistics and evaluate the thing." Like when you're looking for statistics and committees, you're looking for someone else to make the choice and someone else to take the blame.
So real quick, because I can't let this go. Okay, I just looked it up. Okay, Alethkar or Athokar, or however you want to pronounce it.
Alethkar.
Alethkar, sorry,
That's the one.
has 20 shard blades.
Just 20?
Yes. So
20.
I thought they had
Yakaved-
lots more than that.
Yakaved has the same amount. Thalena has 5.
Yeah.
That's it. It's
Yeah. So
it's
how many are missing? So, but yeah. Okay. So how many?
that's yeah.
That's if they just find missing ones, it's going to be a Deus Ex Machina.
Well,
Is it or isn't it? I'm not sure, because you've also got to think about the shard plate, right? So like they're missing about 400 sets of shard plate and
Well-
about 300 blades.
This is what
I
say.
guess
But
it
I'm
might
just
not.
saying,
It might not come out of nowhere because they have been establishing that Shallan saw the groups.
well, you have the groups of them under the bead, sure.
Yeah.
But like I just
Well, no. Well, they've also
I'm
now
just saying,
mentioned
on
like
hand-
they disappear. which
on
seems
hand
so-
right now. I'm just saying, if we're
Yeah.
going back to the number of troops,
Yeah, they're
secondary
cooked, right?
shard bearers, there's max 20.
Yeah, that's
well, I'm
right.
sorry, 25, and that's like if they're all on board, like to
And,
go,
and
right?
training.
Like
and
it,
training.
that's not what you don't know. I don't know where all the shards are. Like like shards are rare. They're extreme. Shard bearers are
Yeah.
not. They're extremely. Actually, shard bearers are probably rarer than radiants at this point. Well, not
Yeah.
probably. They are.
by far.
So
That's
like,
It's like you're playing a game that you don't know all the rules to, right? And you're playing the game for the first time with someone who's who's owned the game for years, and he's saying, "Oh, look, rather than just read them out before and explain how the game works, I'll explain the rules to you as we go along." The problem is if even if you win that way, or obviously you're going to lose, there's no reward if there's no payoff. And that's the thing. Like, I totally agree. It does feel hopeless because we don't know all the rules. We don't know what we're missing in this world.
and I don't know if that's just we have to.
We don't even know
I don't
how
know.
many
Like,
troops the good guys have right now.
I don't know. I don't. And is that the point? Like, I don't know. Like, Alden, I know you got to go, but thanks,
I gotta
man,
go.
for hanging out, dude.
No worries, man. See you
We'll
later,
talk
guys.
soon, buddy.
See, man.
Keep
We
reading,
will.
Carl.
I want book 4, mate. It's so
And they
good.
really don't. You don't even mention using some of the other orders like Light Weavers. Like, I get they're not your biggest warriors, but they are Radiants. They can soul cast. They can
Well,
do
I-
shit.
so-
Have you not
so
been
I
training
hope-
them for war?
I hope that is my hope. Like, look, I am not happy about any of this. I'm just gut punched right now. I hope we learn all kinds of stuff, but right now it doesn't feel like we're headed that way. And hopefully
The meeting is done.
hopefully we do. But it's like I don't know. Like, are they gonna walk and fall into an ocean and find a bunch of shard blades? And I still,
Right.
even
I
if
think
they
they
do,
confirmed
that's
Jake
still,
Paul.
who cares? I
And,
still take
and
a
how
fuse
much
over a shard
and how
blade.
much
I don't-
time do we have left for setup at this point?
I just, it's one of those.
What?
We're on day 2. We're by the end of chapter 20. We are dispersing our troops because the plan has been made. The plan at the end of chapter 20. They have devised their strategy to defend Thalena, Narok, and Azir. So 2,000 to Azir, 2,000 troops to Azir. 20,000 troops, not radiants, 20,000 troops to Thalena to fight Skybreakers, who just decimated a fleet. And the radiants, however many there are going to, led by Sigzil, not Kaladin, are going to defend Iraq against 1,000 fused. They are marching like after 20. It's like, these are the orders. Adolin and Dalinar have their moment, and it's now time to act, because if we don't act, they're all going to be in these places in a day. Like, they're a day out from taking these cities. So it's like, is everybody going to get just tuned up and Dalinar is going to save them all in the spiritual realm? I hope not. I really hope not. But I don't understand, what fine tuning is there to do? Like what from the end of the chapter, 2,000. Adolin is taking the 2,000 best to Azir because that's the most defendable position. Thalena is basically screwed, so they're sending all the troops to Thalena, and then the Windrunners are staying in most of the Windrunners are staying in Iraq.
So in the
I don't
meeting
know
room,
what
they
fine
they
tunings
don't
there's
even
gonna
make a decision for, like, these people are screwed. We have to give up that ground.
No, they don't.
I
Give
also
up
just-
anything. They try to defend all 3 territories.
They come
I think just-
they
That's
come
a
up
really
with
bad idea.
they come up with an arbitrary number of troops to send to each spot, basically.
Yep.
Yeah,
they
and
say
that's what I
they-
mentioned. They never mentioned troops for something like the Battle of Dalian Field. That what numbers were not a thing in that, and you were still able to get a good sense of like the forces against it.
Yeah.
Right.
You had a good sense
Well,
of
but that's
how
the problem.
odds
That's
were
the
changing.
problem. If
And
you
you-
just say there's fuse coming and you don't put a number on it, that's different. But you've put a number to it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we don't need like nitty gritty details. We just need basic stuff, like Lord of the Rings, right? If you're talking about Helm's Deep, we've got a couple hundred good guys in a really good, in a very defensible position, and now we have to defend it against
Well, and that's basically what's
thousands and thousands,
Right, so that's what the-
10,000 orcs. Was that what it was?
So that's
Like-
why they said Azir is getting 2,000, because they have the dome, which is a defensible position. So Adolin, by the end of chapter 20, is taking 22,000 of the best foot soldiers, not even radiants, just taking 2,000 of the best soldiers they have and going to Azir to defend it, because it's the most defendable position. The rest of the troops go to Thalena, so they said 20,000 troops, which is like you have, and then you have Thunderclasts and Fused coming to Narok.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Like I just it's like something like, don't, like, you gave us these numbers, and then like I don't see how you overcome any.
Okay,
of it.
so compare this setup to Helm's Deep. To Helm's Deep, we had we didn't get nitty gritties, but
It said a
we
day and
have
a
general
half.
we have
It was a
general
day and a
numbers.
half.
We say, hey, look, if you can defend this position for a couple days, then Gandalf can show up with reinforcements.
So their plan is to hold off for 8 days. So that's the plan. They left. They sent the troops there.
Right.
Their plan is to hold off for the 8 days to try and save the capital, so they don't lose them. Because
I'm just saying, do you know more about this setup than you know about the setup for the Battle of Helm's Deep? Because that is one of the best battles on screen, and it's not just because it's a good fight, but also because like the stakes, what's at risk, like you're invested.
The only like the only thing that we know, other than they're sending, like we know Gazier is supposed to be the best defendable position. So like from
Right, but
from
and
what you're
their only plan is, hey, just send people there. That's it.
Yep, that's
there's
it.
no other tactics.
Yazier is under a dome. It's easier to defend, so they need less people.
Well, the other thing about Helm's Deep is all my fucking characters that I like are there.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck about this random ass
helps.
city. Like, oh no, we lost Azamir.
look, and
Great.
even then,
Thanks.
you do have a little bit of Deus Ex Machina with Helm's Deep, right? You get the Ents. Oh no, that's Isengard. That's a completely different battle, but like they do, the Ents kind of show up out of nowhere and aren't expected to have participated in this fight, but like it doesn't change, like it doesn't just drastically alter the previously established stakes, right? It was just an extra thing in addition to all of the other tension that had been building up.
Yeah, basically. My issue is 10 years ago when Way of Kings came out, this wouldn't have happened. There would have been a chapter with Adolin going to Azamir, and you would have gotten him thinking about him hoping that the Knights Radiance that were going to the Shattered Plains are going to be enough to hold out.
Well, that's the other thing too. I forgot about that. So there's also they've already sent other troops to Yazier. So there's a bunch of troops marching to Yazier, but they're sending Adolin's forces to hold out. So it is Lord of the Rings. It actually is Helm's Deep. Because you're sending 2,000 to defend Helm's Deep. We'll just say Helm's Deep. You're sending Adolin to defend Helm's Deep for a few days until the reinforcement, which has Stone Wards and other people marching to Yazier.
Yeah, basically.
That's what's happening in Yazier. Is you're sending a smaller contingent because it's a higher, easier defendable position, and there are already reinforcements marching there. I forget how many. I think they give it a number, but it's like there's some Stone Wards in there and some other Radiants.
Enough to take back the city, even if
So that was the one thing that did the Mink bring that up? I think the Mink actually did bring that up, but then he didn't press it. He said, "Well, we could lose the city, and our reinforcements are large enough. We could just take it back."
or at least they speculated on it.
Well, they speculated, right? But it got dropped.
Yeah. Do we want to do 19 before we do 20?
Yeah. Sorry. Let me get rid of this. I don't remember what 19 was. 19 the Zeth chapter.
Yes.
So, well, I don't. There's not even much to say. Zeth lands in Shinovari. He's happy he doesn't have to walk on rocks.
Yeah,
and
he
Kaladin knows about the
found
plans.
a weed.
So something I want to
half of it.
say, I don't like how little we've gotten of Zeth and his spread, especially considering his spread has huge influence over him based on what we see here.
Yeah, doesn't know his name at all.
Which I can understand as maybe like a cultural thing.
That's how they all are, so that's fine. Right?
Yeah,
right. So
that's
like,
fine. It's just we haven't seen him interact with his friend much, despite him making incredible choices based off of that. And it's like we used to always like be paying attention with how they would bond with their spread. Dalinar and Stormfather, Kaladin with Syl, Shallan with Pattern. That's not been something we got with Zet much.
No, and there's something.
Well, isn't that also? So hold on. Is it so? You're right. It was for. Isn't that a tactical faux pas? You sent 40,000 troops marching to Azier. Azier.
Well, I think they thought they were going to defend the border, so they needed way more troops because they needed to be able to defend the wide stretch of the border.
Okay. Yeah, because they misinterpreted the loopholes.
Yes.
Loophole, quote unquote.
Am I the only one that's sick of everybody fucking crying all the time? Like,
no.
I'm okay with this instance of him being broken up. He hasn't been home. The last time he left, he was.
If this was the only instance of people being like hyper emotional and sad, I would be with you. but it seems like everybody is now, and it's actually almost ruining this moment for me. Like this is not that big of a deal when it should be a huge deal because he's just kind of acting like Kaladin does all the fucking time.
I mean,
But
I get what
also-
you're saying, but I'm fine. I'm okay. I was fine with it just because I can understand why Zeth is there. But I get what you're saying, but it did bother me.
And to take it a step further, though, like when you get the character who says, or who is the "I am the law" guy, you really want them to just kind of be like a stone cold killer. Your Javert and Lemiz, like I mean, even RoboCop to an extent. You
Yeah.
don't want your "I am the law" guy to be, kind of a whiny little bitch to an extent. And having the high spren kind of asking him, "Hey, would you stop being a little bitch? Would you fucking man up and deal with this better?"
He wasn't being a bitch though. He's just like he's having a nostalgia thing for the homeland he hasn't seen in forever. That's fine.
I get it to an extent, but man, I miss when Zeth was the fucking Terminator.
Well, I think you're about to get that, but at least I hope that's what we're about to get. But I think that's if I could project a little bit, I think that's probably the other people acting that way out of context or in places where they shouldn't be that is ruining this moment, because I thought it was a good moment. Zeth coming back to purge his homeland of the infidels, and walking on his native soil, and the moss has grown over the rocks, and he doesn't, yada yada yada, right? So I thought it was a good moment for him, especially because his friend goes, "Okay, that's enough," and he's like, "All right, cool, let's go." Right? It's a fleeting moment. It doesn't last that long, and then he's
See, and this is maybe this was my take on it. This should have been from Kaladin's point of view. This should have been done in a way where
It could have been.
Kaladin's sitting there like, "Why are you acting so fucking weird?" That we as the reader kind of get it, and we don't need to be told, his emotions. But also, is there a reason why every other fucking emotion in this book elicits 95 different kinds of emotional spread, but this didn't? I don't know. That kind of bothered me.
that there no Spren showed up for Zeth. Well, I don't know. I don't know how do Spren work differently in
No idea.
Shinovar? I don't know. We haven't seen.
I mean, they
Shinovar
mentioned
yet,
there's an unmade there.
so I'm not sure.
All right,
So,
fine,
but
I'll
I
give
get
it
it.
that.
No, I don't know. So like the only thing I can say about that is I don't. Shinovar is supposed to be. Shinovar is very different than the rest of Roshar from what they've said. So I don't know how Spren work there yet. That's the only thing I could say about that, really. But yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think this was out of the group, this was probably my favorite chapter of the group, just because personally.
I would agree with that. I think 19 and the first half of 17 were maybe the only passable chapters in these 8 we've gotten so far.
Yeah, and it was Kaladin seeing weird plants that he's never seen before, and it's fine. I'm not sure we needed to acknowledge it too much, but I was fine with Zeth, how he acted, especially it wasn't that long. So,
Zeth calling Kaladin a coward.
hold on, an Spren burst around Kaladin. So there's that. So I don't know why the emotion Spren aren't popping around Zeth. So.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna peace out then because I
All right, see you.
All right, brother.
it was fun, super fun.
All right,
See you
man.
guys next week, and
Yeah,
hopefully I'll
get
be
some
done
rest.
with the first Carl book by then because I got
Yeah, man.
demolish
yeah.
my kitchen.
Hell yeah.
All right,
Okay.
man. Thanks,
Bye.
Alan.
See ya.
So yeah. So, and then what? Then we have. I think we've already pretty much talked about.
Yeah, we really hammered 20.
Yeah, we got. We were all over the place a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know. I just I can't see the board in my brain right now. Um, yeah, I don't know. The fact that I mean the fact they called for reinforcements and they got 8, I feel like that's a huge blow. I mean, it basically means you're not getting any more Windrunners, which is your main assault force. So, uh,
Despite that being a whole thing from the previous book.
but like, I mean, yeah, sure, you can have some squires, but right now you're just saying there are no more Windrunners. Windrunners are done. Which,
Hey.
obviously something may happen to change the mind there, but
That was the entire point
I
of
don't
the
know.
last
I don't know.
book,
They're just
though.
1,000 fuse. That's a huge fucking number. So I guess we'll see how it develops here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm I wish I was more positive about this right now. I hope it changes. And the shocking thing to me is usually our boy Aldan is holding the line. So
I'm gonna say we're 10 chapters. I never thought Shy would break, but man, I don't know what we're gonna do if Eldan breaks.
Well,
He's
I mean,
definitely the one holding out the most.
I mean, look, I recognize that hopefully maybe we turn a corner here, and hopefully this is just a blip. I hope. I hope.
I guess
I don't know.
what would turning a corner
I didn't hear you, man.
what would turning a corner look like at this point? Like Kaladin doesn't seem like he's gonna get his mojo back. So
Well, something big would have to happen. Well, it has to stem from Shinovar, in my opinion, right? You have to have Zeth make some sort of huge breakthrough in Shinovar. Kaladin needs to figure out whatever the hell's going on with the wind. Ishar needs to do something to help out and turn the tide. Like, I feel like that's Shinovar should be our focal point at this point, because that's unless Dalinar is just going to reach into the spiritual realm and grab Honor's essence, I don't see how else they have a chance.
well, I mean, it seems to me like the biggest focus of this next upcoming section is going to be Shallan in the spiritual realm, which I don't know about you. I don't think that plot line has any gas.
I want to see Shinovar. I want to see Shinovar. Like I want to see Shinovar. That's basically where I'm at. These battles they're going to take place, and I'll be interested to see how they pan out. But I want to see Shinovar. That's where I'm at personally.
Yeah, I mean, Adolin, Kaladin, Dalinar, and Zeth are the only 4 that I think have any potential left, and I'm getting ready to write off Kaladin. Adolin has potential. I think Dalinar is probably on the bench for another 600 pages.
Which I think that's wild that he's just like, I'm going to get ready for my fight. I don't know what that means.
I assume spiritual realm based on what they say.
I guess.
Chapter.
Yeah, I guess. So he's gonna take Shallan to the spiritual realm?
That or go himself and they do it separately somehow. They don't seem to be merging.
Just everybody's going to the spiritual realm now? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
That generally seems to be how they're doing it.
But the problem is here, I'll go back to my biggest problem here. Let me get back there real quick, because my biggest problem with day 2 it might not be what you guys think it is, but my biggest problem with day 2 is, I'll bring it up on the screen here in a second if I can find it. Because here we go. This is my biggest problem with day 2.
I mean, look, Dalinar.
Those are all point of view characters. That's insane.
Yeah, and let's go through them. Dalinar isn't going to do anything for a while. Yasna and Navani are going to suck for a while. Fen is going to suck. Yanagon is he's fine. I'm hoping.
I don't know.
If you use him for more than 2 chapters, we're in big trouble. Adolin, go for it. But unfortunately, I think we probably have at least 3 or 4 more chapters of he has to get there. He has to meet everybody. He has to get everything ready. So we're a ways off before Adolin's going to do anything. Shallan is going to suck as always. Zeth, I'm a little bit worried. I mean, I was hoping Zeth was going to get to Shinovar and dominate.
She was going to go down, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sigil sucks. Kaladin sucks. Lift fucking mega sucks. Renarin might be interesting. But
But why do you need Renarin and Relaine? Like, they're obviously they're probably going to be together. Just do one.
Yeah, and then fucking Lopen is annoying. So I mean, realistically, on this list, you've got what? 2 winners in Adolin and Zeth. Like, I mean, I don't even see the fucking potential of this.
It's too many point of view characters. I just don't know why we're doing it. Before that, I don't think it's ever been close to that many. It kept going in the audiobook. It was just what? I mean, it's one of those things. It could be like, hopefully it's just like those little blurps of Fen in them. Like, Fen had a point of view in what, chapter 14. Hopefully she's done. Hopefully she's done.
That's what's happened before when they have a lot.
She's done. Yasna could be done. And hopefully Navani probably is not done. She's probably going to have a lot to do this day 2. But Sigil, we haven't got his POV yet. But I mean, these 2 for sure could be done already. Which okay.
It helps, but man,
I don't know why it was needed. Let's just get maybe we'll go in the future. I don't know.
I don't get it either. I don't understand what the fucking point of that Fen POV was.
Yeah, it was weird. Well, I mean, the point was just to show that they got fucking destroyed by the Skybreakers, which.
So right, I mean, show them getting destroyed by the fucking Skybreakers.
But it's another. It's like, it brings up questions to me. Then why did why aren't the Skybreakers currently occupying Thaina?
Well, Steve, as you know, you can pick up a big rock and drop it on a ship, but like a castle, picking up a big rock and dropping it on a castle, that
well, I mean, the biggest problem is Fen basically said straight up, I have no army. Yep. I am dependent on you. So that means I don't even know how many Skybreakers are. There were enough that they took out the Thaylen fleet. They should be able to take the city at this point, no problem. There's 5 shard bearers max to cause problems.
Yeah, no radiance, 5 shard bearers.
You got a fucking herald.
You can't fly.
You got a herald and a bunch of Skybreakers. It's like, I'm not sure why you don't just take the city. But I don't know. It's one of those. I guess we'll see. I don't know. Yep. Okay. Well, shit. Well, hopefully. Oh man, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens on Monday. I guess. Hopefully, we start seeing some of this come together in a way that makes sense. I hope.
Yep.
But yeah. So. Until then, yeah, I guess we'll see you all on the next one. Thanks for hanging out.
Indeed.
And we'll see you all later. Bye.